Audio good. Looks like it should be. Hello. Yo, we got a silly build today. Tournament starts in 5 minutes. We got a real silly build. It's the, as you guys have aptly called it, the go-kart build. Where we run Mother Ostenkia. And a million single entities. And that's, and that's it. It looks silly, but it's actually really good versus a lot of factions. Not as perfect versus melee factions. The reason why it's good versus ranged, like Cathay, or even Dwarves sometimes, depending, is because Mrs. Stanky gives 20% missile resist in an AoE. Pretty hype. Craftier, you want to match up today? Sounds good. Yeah, Frostworms are surprisingly powerful. Specifically against Cav, their animations are really good. And then we have the sick Lore of Hag's magic. Forbidden Fens Overcast, 25 speed Strider. Vigor replenishment to make our Cav charges insane. Oh yeah, we left off on Friday where I threw super hard against Dwarves. I threw incredibly hard. It was a game against Alexander Nuts. He played Dowie. He took the Goblin Hewer. And if you actually just compare them real quick. Okay, take a look at this. Take a look at this and tell me if I'm insane, okay? I thought the Goblin Hewer was Rangers. Because, like, I know it does a lot of damage to single entities. But there's no way Rangers actually kill this build. Because they have really slow arcs of fire. But take a look. This is absolutely silly. So, if you're playing super zoomed out, right? Like I was in that fight. I thought this was a ranger unit that was kind of glitching out. And they're like, yeah, and they're like entities weren't like positioned properly. Cause I played pretty far zoomed. So like I just look at their banners. And it has the same banner for whatever reason, instead of like, you know, having like a unique artillery banner. So I just YOLO'd my elemental incarnate onto them and it died. We won't be having that happen today. Today, it's gonna be sick. We're gonna do, yeah. We're gonna be doing the insanity. Tournament starts in 2 minutes. Check in, check in, check in. See how many signups do we have. It looks like we got a good amount. Yeah, I thought the Goblin Hewers were Rangers because the banner was the same. And I thought their models were just glitching into a weird formation. Lots of signups. You may or may not have a counter build for this. Why don't you just go like wide, Kislev? Also, yeah, all the crew of the Goblin Hero are also Slayers. They just have the same stats as Slayers. It is half the model count as a usual normal of Slayers, but also pretty spooky. It was a ranged attack that killed me, though. This build actually did pretty well versus Slayers. The Griffin Legion charges are quite nice, but like there's also horse archers and all that. Spooky build, I see. It's very spooky. It's a good one. Also, yeah, we played Warcraft 3 yesterday. Turin coached me on how to play the Dreadlord. the Vampire Lord, undead builds. It's pretty sick. I might start playing some more Warcraft 3 in my free time. Maybe I'll even stream a couple of games. We'll see, we'll see. I still gotta play XCOM though. I still wanna get back to #1 spot in Warhammer. Too much to do. So little time. But yeah, I'll see what I can fit in. Also get editing. Lots to do. Sorry, this is something on my mouse. Be back in a second, and then I'll start the tourney. All that. Yeah, XCOM. We died. We died in our last run of XCOM. You love Warcraft 3? Awesome. Some people watched me play StarCraft back in the day. That was hype. Alrighty. Time to generate the bracket. Announcement. Tourney. At Goblins. Round 1 is up. And then let the admin issues flood into me. We're up against Outer Region to start. Hell yeah. All that. Just a little bit of Outer Region shenanigans. Recently, I think I've had a slightly above average win rate against them. Very strong player for sure. So, what's he playing as? That's the big question. SFT Declaration. Oh, the region's playing Dowie. Oh god, he bans Crystal Lake. Ban Itza. Imperial Road's not that much better. Let's see here. But yeah, it'll have to do. Oh god, what a day. What a way to start. Oh, ain't that sucky. Oh jeez, Dowie. You kidding me? Alright. Let's do it. By the way, great screenshot of Mother Ostankia. You're already in. It's time. It's time to die to dwarves. Oh, God. So, yeah, the problem is... it's Dowie. The problem is it's Dowie and... ugh. Your last attempt about swiftening spell to not be a spammer. Oh, sorry. Can you test change with this? What, you mean the Swift Wing? I talked about it earlier. Yeah, it gives 25% speed bonus and extra charge bonus. It's an AoE. But, you know, it would be about the same as Forbidden Fens Overcast. It just doesn't give Vigor and Strider, though. But the charge bonus is nice. Like, if I had the freedom to use other magic, I think it would be a fine spell. I do like me my Vigor, though. Alright, so... I need something that can kill Slayers. And I need something that can kill the basic Dwarven Infantry. So I will need to get something or other going. We can't just spam single entities, I think. I found the thing in the woods are really nice. And then it's just, yeah, that's just Slayers that I gotta deal with. What's the best anti-Slayer attack? Normal Cossars? Do I want War Sleds? War Sleds are okay. I don't think they're as good as Thing in the Woods, though. The return of the Capture Kitties. But, yeah, he's playing Dowie. Good old Dowie. Oh, God. Alright, well, let's just see. Let's see if we get massacred here. It's a pretty decent map for us, at least. Because it's massive. Alright, here we go. Hello, hello, Red Dark. War sleds last longer than Things in the Woods. Yeah, I think it's Things in the Wood. I think is the correct name. But yeah, we got Mother Ostankia, because that's the whole theme of today. So you might think this build's crazy versus dwarves, but trust in the process. It definitely cooks. So, you know what? Yeah, I'm just going to early capture this first point, then go here, capture this one, and then we can kind of play around that. Ready, good luck, have fun. Maybe he hasn't seen the build yet. There's always a chance he hasn't seen the build, and he'll be completely caught off guard. He'll just have a million miners, and he'll die. Would you consider taking Kistalton? What does Kistalton have? He has a lot of healing, right? So dang, no adminning? Hell yeah. What's this Kislev strat? Ah, you weren't here for Friday? At least late Friday? It's sick. You have a single entity death blob with loads of leadership hits. It's insane. What kind of a company army is this? Yo, them goblin healers. Alright, let's take a look. Oh, hell yeah. Triple cannon, though, is crazy. Okay. So, I'm just gonna line of sight him through the forest. Fine by me. Yeah, he's just gonna push with them. So, we're just gonna head straight to the forest. The great thing about this build is the rapid mobility. I imagine he's going to get like a, well, let's see here. Imagine he's going to get Slayer summons on them. Thankfully, I have a lot of Cav summons over here that we can whip on out. Asenkia doesn't have a rampage this time around, but a single unit of Slayers won't really be able to stop me from bullying these guys. He's gonna need a lot more. So confidence is pretty high, I'd say. He has a lot of stuff that can't really deal with the Things in the Wood, which is nice. Oh crap, he had line of sight. Heal it. Didn't realize. Good thing she has a missile resist, otherwise she would just be dead. Kind of terrifying. Does get his first Slayer unit in there. Alright. Okay, yeah, so he's actually just pulling back now. Well, I guess we'll just keep summoning in Cav. I should be able to value trade him if I just go for this. I just gotta make sure that his artillery don't, like, kill everything here. But I should be able to take this out. So he is just going for my Cav. Makes sense. Triple artillery can be pretty spooky. Does he have the Grim Delvers or something? Lots of shots come off, but actually a little bit of overkill there. Not going to be doing him any favors. Let's get my one archer unit up. You can see he's pulled back like everything here. There's the Grim Delvers. So we're just going to charge them so that they cannot shoot me. Ooh, they do get a little bit of a shot off. It looks like they will mostly be going down. Artillery's just doing the best. And his lines over here are indeed getting massacred pretty hard. So he's going to try and retarget now. But I got my Cav in here. Miners will not stand up against this thing in the woods. There we go. There's a little sandwiching effect on him. That is some pretty expensive cav we're losing, but maybe we can disrupt this long enough where Astankia and such are going to be able to capture this. Like, he definitely is down all his miners now. That's good. The artillery pieces are very spooky, but looks like I may be able to rout off a couple of them at this rate. Let's see here. Yeah, there's their Buyer of Blood triggering. Best ability ever. Just gotta make sure that he doesn't shoot up my cav too hard. Okay, so we got one of them. I'll take one of them. That's fairly manageable. Just gotta keep on moving. We do have one artillery piece down. Very nice. Gotta get my heels off. There we go. Get back on the point. Ah, but his artillery piece does rally. Unfortunate. The disruption was kind of nice, though. I got some Streltsy over here. Let's see how he does now. Is he going to leave all his guys here? Because, like, Asenkia can just kind of chill here forever, right? Like, yeah, he has a couple cannonball shots, but it's not like we can't dodge him. We do get that there capture point, too. So, clock's a ticking for him. As long as Ostankia dodges like a mad lad, I think we'll be fine. She just has to be extraordinarily careful, right? Because, like, he's never going to take this point back unless he starts pushing up. Just got to keep dodging. I got more archers over here. His Grim Delvers are coming. Okay. Who's targeting? My beast. My beastie boy, run. Yeah, look at that. Look at that box he has going. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Ouch. A little bit of poke action on him. Ouch. A little bit more poke action than I would hope for. A little bit of a staggering effect he's got going. Can it move? Oh, God. All right, that's a little brutal. Hey, maybe I can triple cap him. He is fairly out in the open right now. This thing is getting staggered to hell and back, though. Trade-wise, we're doing really bad, right? But remember, he has mostly artillery. So he's probably going to kill my big beastie boy. That's okay. Let's just capture this point over here. Thankfully, I did bring in some infantry. So he's going to have to do something over here. There's the probable triple cap. Hell yeah. Very nice. So I should be able to steal another point. This is the big pain and suffering of the Dowie. That they are unable to stop people from stealing their points. Although he is kind of getting on there. He just unmount his... Okay, no, that's Doom Seekers. So there's a couple Doom Seekers in there. Who's he firing at? My Patriarch? Okay. Come on, Astenkia. There you go. Alright. So we got a big cav charge. He did re-secure the point. But we're doing alright, I think. His cannons don't really have the best DPS in the world. I should be able to take this one back once again since he is extraordinarily out of position. His cannons are doing their best, but will it be enough? We shall see. He definitely has a lot of Seekers. That little speed boost helping me out, though. Yeah, so we'll just kill off his heroes now. Heal up. Get our vigor back, I guess. And then just continue sitting on a double cap. Thank goodness I have so many guys here. Otherwise, this would be way worse. Mother Stanky has to just keep drifting. All right, there you go. There's the capture. So he's bringing in more dudes. I still have a lot of guys in general, though. We even have a possible cav charge on his artillery crew if he ever decides to get a little feisty and push out too far. There you go. There's the grind going on in. Slayers are kind of spooky. The fact that I only barely have a value cap over him, though, is definitely a little bit sus. But, you know, we're gonna kill off some of his archers here. His artillery crew is mostly undefended now. I think I should be able to just jump it with my single entities. Yeah, he doesn't have like a Grimdelver or anything, so I should just be able to jump him now. We're just gonna speed boost over there while he's looking away, essentially. There we go, archers away. Beat him up. It's all hands on deck to kill those artillery pieces, lest they ruin me here. There you go. All right. That's finally the artillery crew down, at the cost of a few of my guys. But I think it's going to be worth it for me. Let's throw down a little bit of spell casting. There you go. I don't have my thing in the woods though. That's the rough part. How's my cav doing? They're doing okay. Astankia's doing okay. It's a little bit of a big grind. What, we got one of them out of there? As long as Astankia doesn't like surprise die, I think I'll be okay. Got the thing in the woods there. That's gonna help with the value trading a little bit. There you go. All right. That's another artillery route. Wondrous. Thank goodness for the missile resist, man. If it wasn't for the missile resist, this would be so much worse. Okay, there we go. Thing in the woods. Get him. Hey, all right. Stankia just needs to evac, and then I should be okay. Patriarch 2, probably. How's this fight going? Decent. Stankia is doing fine. Patriarch, though, kind of having a rough day, I'm not gonna lie. He's had better times indeed. May be able to save him with a little bit of a wind blast effect. That way it knocks down a couple of the Dowie. And that'll stop him from killing this guy. Maybe a bit of a healing effect here, I guess. How's this fight going? Fight on the far side's going okay. That's not too bad. All right. And his artillery crew is finally down. Wondrous. So now he has to push up. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. So he has to play on the aggressive now. With all his little tiny artillery pieces shut down. I should be okay. Patriarch can even come back and spam heals if I really need him to. I just gotta make sure he doesn't hunker down on this point. And we'll be fine. Astankia, yeah, she can just chase off the remaining forces. The problem is now he's pushing up, right? How many single entities do I have left? I do have more things in the wood. That's pretty cool. And I do have a nasty fat cav charge with single entities here to shut down his guys. That should be pretty nice. Thing in the woods. They're killing it. Here comes the cav charge. There we go. Frostworm's gonna cause terror and whatnot. That'll be quite nice. Stankia, heal yourself. There you go. There's the other Frostworm. Come on, don't let him take it. Don't let him take the point. If he takes the point, that'd be real bad. But if he doesn't, I should just be able to stall him for the rest of the game. There you go. There's a mass route. Yeah, these guys aren't, they're not enough. They're not enough. Just two Thanes. So now all I gotta do is just capture them. We just gotta, yeah, we just gotta push on in here, right? And just never let him take the point ever. Should be fairly reasonable. The single entity squad they're doing the best. He only has the one Slayer though. And I remember I do have Cav too, right? Cavalry's gonna be great. I think we win on a single cap now. Yo, the vengeance against the dwarves. I knew it would be possible. I knew it'd be possible. It was kind of sus. But sweet, sweet vengeance against the forces of the Dowie. They are no match. They are no match for the go-kart build. Hell yeah! Go-karts for the win! And Mother Estankia lived too. Yo, this is a crazy build, man. I love this build. Imagine losing to Kislev single entities as Dowie. You know that one's gotta hurt. Glorious. Oh, my lord's dead. Well, it's fine. Just gotta make sure he, yeah, we just keep chasing off his Thanes and such and fight him outside of the point. That should help us out. Get a big old glorious cavalry charge on him. Yeah, we definitely win on a single cap now, though. He's got no time. Dang, even with the artillery spam, it wasn't enough. Still gonna be a little sus, though, right? I don't think I can sit in a grind against these Slayers. So maybe he takes his point eventually. I got a Patriarch, though. Thank goodness we went on a single cap. That's all I gotta say. He's actually going for it. Wait just a darn second. I gotta hold for just a little bit longer, don't I? He's pulling the boys. All right, there's no way, though. Not with the Patriarch leadership. Not with my spooky units here. And the little rallying we got going on. He's pulling everything. This is very cinematic. But it's gonna take him ages because he's Dowie. This map is probably one of the least favored possible for him. For this type of strat. I think I definitely could have shut down his artillery faster if I played it right. But hey, you know, we win, so doesn't really matter too much. We just collapse in on these guys and get ourselves a little bit of a heal. There you go. Then barring a random ranger getting here and just, you know, if he has like 10 rangers in the woods that just move into capture, we're screwed. But like, he has nothing that can actually fight this. He had way too many miners, I think. The miners were not enough. Reasons for loss, short legs. If dwarves had a fast capture unit, it'd be so much worse. It'd be so much more sus. But yeah, I feel like against artillery factions, maybe I should take Estankia's rampage ability. There you go, 987. Wondrous. Oh my gosh. Because then, yeah, you can rampage the artillery pieces. The artillery killed my elemental really fast. That was a nice early pick. But you're playing dwarves and you start with 3 cannons, you're never capturing anything. Yeah, the hag does have a heal. And the spell also heals. It's kind of nice. GG. Oh, that's a good start. That's a very good start. I love me some redemption. Amazing. The cavalry did amazing. The cav was sick. And the things in the wood are like the de facto dwarf killers. Having the one Streltsy, by the way, and the archers was such a good call for an artillery spam build with like a lot of slayers. In fact, I could just shoot them up. Really saved my butt there. Very fun. All right. So that's a good starter. It's a very good starter, but will it be enough to win the tourney? I'll be back in a second. I can't believe we beat dwarves with this. We beat triple cannon dwarves with 5 single entities. Yeah, the cannons got way more value than they should have if I played perfectly. But yeah, so Witch Brew, if you overcast it, it heals for like almost 5% HP, was it? It lasts 7 seconds, 0.6. Yeah, so it's like, you know, almost 4%. Or a little over 4%. Was it 4.2? Am I getting my math right? Anyways. It's pretty nice. You won? It looked like a loss. I know, it's great. Yeah, the Witch Brew heal is not the best. It does replenish Vigor, though. And Vigor is weirdly important for this build because you're cycle charging so much. Most of the time, though, you're just going to cast it normally for the damage. That's the main reason why I have it. Forbidden Fence is just a mobility buff. It turns you into Slanesh. Strider, unstoppable. Unspottable, my bad, not unstoppable. Unspottable in Strider. So, yeah, I was pretty hype. Although apparently this doesn't actually stealth your guys, but it does help you get into the fight way faster. 1/3 of an Earthblood, that's what Witch Brew Overcast is. The thing is, Kislev doesn't really have healing outside of the Patriarch. So I'm kind of just taking what I can get here. The way you talk about Hag lore makes it seem like it's not even that bad. The Vigor buffs is the only thing keeping it together. Bonus Vigor keeps the leadership of your relatively low leadership Frostworms high. If they lose leadership, they do rout pretty easily. So that is pretty important. 4 more rounds, okay. Corsair should get a Swiss point. So Haglore looking decent. Haglore is okay. It's an okay lore of magic. It's nothing crazy, but it will get the job done. All right, 1 second, again. All right, we back. But yeah, I think the real way to make this build like insanely spooky though, if you're not facing ranged factions, is to go Boris. Because Boris, what does he do? Well, first of all, he's just a great fighter. Excuse me, you put him on a bear, insane stats, great buffs. But mostly, I think you just want this. You just take the Shard Blade, and it's just like a free final transmutation, right? Just chuck that out. Although then you'd still need the Patriarch, and then, I don't know, it kind of mixes things up. No, maybe Asankia is the way. She does have a ranged attack, which hits them with the hit by ranged leadership debuff, which is kind of cool. You know, if we're playing against someone with final transmutation, I should totally take Fate of Interlopers. Because then imagine they like flensing me, and then I cast a spell, and then they just all rout. You know, this is actually not terrible. The -4 leadership is really good for routing too. Wait 1 second. Wait just a darn second. Do I want to put this guy on a horse? He gets armor piercing on a bear. Only 300 more. But wait, I can take Fate of Interlopers as a way to resist spells and as a way to rout enemies off, because I'm always casting spells, so basically spamming them. It's an extra 4 leadership, so this guy's minus 8 leadership on his ability. Terror, which routes at what, 11, 14. Fear, which is a -8 leadership. Fate of the Interlopers, another -4. Hit by ranged attack. And then Glorious Charge, which gives a leadership penalty as if they've been hit in the flank, which is another -8. It's the ultimate leadership bomb. Shouldn't you take Lil Grom to counter Thunder Barge? Thunder Barge wouldn't be able to capture fast enough. It's not the best at killing single entities, and I have a lot of heal and missile resist. I wouldn't be too worried about it. Overcasting is only the effects of the friendly stuff, yeah. How do you get the battle camera so zoomed out? It's the debug camera. If you look up debug camera Warhammer, you should get a video either from me or... Actually, I think... Does that work? What was the... Hey, it still works! My chat commands still work! Yeah, if you want to zoom the camera out, follow that link here at Twitch chat. I'll do it here too, because it's cool. If you guys want to do me a favor, by the way, anytime someone asks how to zoom out, you can type in !how zoom, and it'll get you the link. It's pretty hype. But yeah, Fate of Interlopers is pretty cool. Spirit Bear, I still don't know how I feel about Spirit Bear. The targeting on it is real weird. It costs 200 also. Thing is, if I take Fate of Interlopers, what cav am I getting? You know, like I don't have my sick winged lancers anymore, which are kind of needed for the Glorious Charge. Could take a Patriarch not on a bear, but he loses like massive HP. He loses a lot putting him on a Warhorse. But it might be worth it if he has something cool here. Could take extra melee defense and melee attack. Charge bonus and leadership. None of these are too important though, right? Buffs if he's low, leadership and melee defense. You're thinking about getting into multiplayer and you want to ask about the reinforcing army. Do you only have those 10 units in the reinforcing army, or can just keep recruiting more? If a unit dies, it will go into the reinforcing army pool. So if they get full killed, then yeah, you can bring them back in. So you don't have to worry about it too much. Yeah, the Spirit Bear, you need a big blob for it to really work out well. But yeah, I really do want the Winged Lancers for Glorious Charge. Fate of Interlopers is really cool. -4 leadership, map wide. All I gotta do is cast a spell. Is pretty hype. Well on his way to being a Warcraft 3 pro. Yo, the Warcraft 3. Right now, my MMR on Warcraft 3 Champions is probably around the 1,100 range, I'd say. I have a ways to go, but... yeah, with coaching from Turin, I was able to do pretty well. Still like a lot of minor things to learn that'll just like trip you up, right? But like in general gameplay, I think I can spend my money decently well. Not consistently yet though. We're getting there. It's insane given how recently you started playing. Well, like I played a bunch of Warcraft 3 campaign as a kid. And I watch a lot of Grubby, so like I know what the units do. Played a lot of StarCraft, so I know how RTSs work and how to spend money. The surrounds are like a little bit of a newer concept, but like the rough idea is there. I think I'm a little addicted to surrounds right now. But yeah, it's just learning the game itself that'll take a little while. Like, you know, learning instincts on like which units are stronger, like riflemen are OP. That's one thing that we know. Frenzy ghouls are OP. That's another thing we know. But like, it's like if CA release a new faction in Warhammer, you just have a bunch of units that you don't really know. You don't know what's good. You don't know what's bad. Try Astenkia's bear thing again, sure. Troll country. You said it can kill a unit of dark shards. At least it could on launch. It could just kill a whole unit of them. Sure, let's take a look-see. Maybe it'll delete them. Fury of the land. Strider causes fear. You know, the Strider's kind of cool, but like, I don't need to stack Astenki up that much. How's the bracket doing? 2 more matches and then our next one's up. Sleds are very matchup dependent. They have been getting more and more expensive as time has gone on. What? Didn't they used to cost like 1,000 only, right? The war sleds, but yeah, just a slow price creep on them to get them balanced has gone them a little bit rough. Nerfs to chariots over the years. Is that a seal? I think that's a seal. Does not look like a bear. Holy crap. Okay, maybe you were right. Okay, so if you just cast that from far away, what, you have 3 casts of that? All right, fine. All right, we'll take it. I guess it's kind of good. It's a rubber bear. Let's see. Yeah, that's kind of hype. It's kind of hype, may I say. Put this guy on a horse. Get the Spirit Bear and Fate of Interlopers. This guy's not a damage dealer anyways. And then that way I get to keep my Winged Lancers. Yeah, I don't see how that doesn't get me 200 gold worth of value back. If I just cast it on like any ranged or expensive unit. I can cast it on the unit that I'm charging to. That's pretty hype. And then cast a spell for the leadership debuff. It's kind of great how many leadership debuffs we got going on here. I only wish I could squeeze a little Grom in. Charix is playing, by the way. B6 lost to Reginald Puggington. Oh boy. Charix won against Solo Spaghetto. So I'm either fighting Charix, Oishi, Opal Bear, Reginald, Pontim Claw, Rusto, or the winner of Martin and Son of Heaven. Next. How decent are the Ice Guard? They're pretty good. Nothing crazy, but they're okay. I don't think anyone really uses them though. Yo, Astenki are having a spell counter. So you can basically become like mini Corn. If you see that they're casting a spell on you, you can counter spell it, kind of. It's only 20%, but her spells are really cheap. It'd be, I don't know, man. The crazy thing though is that with the Incarnate Elemental, you go up to 40% resistance if they cast a spell on it. If it's a missile spell, well, I guess it doesn't have missile resist. These guys have missile resist. If they cast a missile spell against Frost Worms while that's active, while Astenkia also has Crown of Claws, it'll do literally 0 damage. That's a very specific situation, though. Advancing the Swiss. It's time. At Goblins. Round 2. Who are we up against? Rusto. Let's go. Rusto. Hit him up with the yo-yo. Hit him up with the... Gotta get the lobby up. He hit me up with the hey hey. I'm top bracket. Ban. Let's see. What's his faction? His faction is Corn. It's Corn. Oh god. Celestial Lake, Altar of the Champion, Road to Talabheim. Road to Talabheim is okay because it's pretty big. Altar of the Champion is the one I think I'll ban. Oh no, this one's pretty big too. Could ban Lake. He's playing Corn. These are typically bad matchups for Kislev. It'd be pretty jokes if this build just crushed it. Redeem the stretch, thank you. Oh, some good stretches going. Ooh, that was a nice one. Ooh. You up against Outer Region? Hell yeah, Carafthier, beat him up. He's playing Dwarves. Should be easy. Dwarves suck. He bans Road to Talabheim, so we're playing on Altar of the Champion. This one's a big map. Fairly big map. Not the best for the shooty. It's good though. Mother Astankia. Cute art army blocker when? Astankia looking pretty cute in that picture. Look at that lean, man. Yo, her animations are actually very solid. There's a lot of emotion in them. It's not like the damsels of Bretonia. Great for thumbnails. Amazing for thumbnails. All right. So it's Corn. We're not going to get shot at, right? Corn is incapable of shooting most of the time. Unless he brings a bunch of Marauder horsemen. What if he does that? You're the bottle of mustard? Hell yeah. Ultimate witchery. She pulls mice out of her mouth? Dang. Let's see here. So it's Corn. We gotta... There's a few things we gotta swap in and out. So definitely want to get some of these. The biggest issue is spending the money properly. Okay, so what if I do this? Ooh, that's pretty nice. Okay. So, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yo, I should move the Patriarch off of the main armor. Well, he kind of needs to stick around with them. If I summon him in, he might show up too late to heal. Let's see. I probably don't need the missile resist. Like, even if he does have horsemen, is he really gonna kill me? But what if he does? What if he does? Let's see. If I don't take that, then what? I have 800 gold left over. What can you even do with 800 gold on the Kislev roster, though? Kislev with 800 gold left over? What even is there? I don't know. Anything I can take off the patriarch? Put him on foot. Definitely not. What if I get rid of that? Put this guy here, move this guy up. Then I have 600 gold left over. That's enough for, like, what, a horse archer? It's kind of awkward. I don't know how I feel about that. Hag maxing begins. Dude, the hag max is insane. Okay, well, actually taking like 3 hags is not useful in the slightest. They don't even have cool abilities or anything. But yeah, I think I have a fine enough build. It's corn. They're pretty straightforward. Kitty cats. Yeah, capture kitties are not too great, really. More Kossars when in doubt. Kossars. Not with the playstyle I've been doing. This is like a minimal infantry playstyle I've been grinding. Some of my builds don't even have infantry. It's great. Barriets. Get the barriets going. What if I just go like a full gun build and he expects me to spam single entities? Do we win? I feel like we win. Would you rather have relations, quote unquote, with Ostankia or Silostra? Definitely Silostra. Silostra is an understandable evil. Ostankia is... I feel like she's prone to going rogue, you know? Something about that face. Not as trustworthy. Silostra, you know, if you want to manipulate her, just tell her, you know, how you're going to help her get to Lothern, and she'll be happy. Ostankia might want to cook you up, even if you are friends. What tool is Kislev missing? I don't know. They feel pretty complete. You know, they got anti-artillery tech. They got lots of ranged. I think the biggest thing is probably a high DPS fast infantry unit. They don't usually need it because they have cav. They have amazing cav too. But if we're talking about, like, you know, what they're missing, a unit that can clear off marauders, an infantry unit specifically that can clear off marauders is one of the things that probably holds them back just a bit. They could get better artillery. Well, they already have great artillery sniping though. So do they really need artillery for counter battery? You know, Scotch, there actually aren't too many Kislev players nowadays. You do see them more than a lot of other factions though. Only hag magic? It was destined by lore master of Sotek himself. He requested on Thursday, last Thursday, that I tried to win. As a challenge, I tried to win with Kislev's hag magic. And we did pretty good. Outside of a throw, we were kind of annihilating people. I think it just has too much crackhead energy. Maybe she's not like that crazy. She's just like, you know, she's just kind of eccentric, right? But she's not like crazy, I think. I don't know. I haven't heard enough of her voice lines. What's she about? She likes Kislev. Long walks down the beach. Granny Poo. I feel like Mother Ostankia as a grandma. She'd be like a creepy grandma for sure. Like, you would not want to stay over at her place. What's your favorite Kislev lore of magic? Currently, the lore of hags, because it's hilarious. It's hilarious the things you can do with this. Alright, so I'm going single entity kite this time around. Call me crazy, but it should be pretty good. So, light war sledge into the horizon. We got our big boys here. If he has doggos, only a way to shut him down, but he only has 9 units. In theory, he has nothing that can deal with me. And then I can summon the frost worms if I need to. If he's spamming mobility, then I don't need to. He's brought Karanak and some Minotaurs. Okay. Some Minos. He brought the Hellforge Bellows. Worst case scenario kills my horse archers, but that's about it. So this is definitely a frost worm 'em up game. If I'm not gonna hit him up with the frost worms, it's gonna be sus. Asenkia does do a lot of damage, by the way, to single entities. She just get netted. I think she just got netted by Karanak. It should be fine though. How long does that net last? Come on, Asenkia, run! How long does it last? There we go. Alright, we're fine. Retreat! Retreat! Okay, maybe my skirmishers should have protected these guys. It's a little awkward, admittedly. Just a little awkward. Okay, frost worms here. I did not expect that. I must say, I did not expect that. Well, I got the double cap, but at what cost? He's totally just beelining for me. He wants the murdering. So he killed my incarnate. That's not the biggest issue though, because in the end this is just a kite game. Astenkia lives too, so that's pretty nice. I can slow him down with the fens, and then I can just bring my skirms back. Bloodthirster with the net. Very spooky indeed. Frostworms will definitely cook here though. He should be avoiding this fight, most definitely. There's our heal. The fens are slowing him. Can he stop the kite? The kite action. Can I kill these guys maybe? Can I kill his lord perhaps? That would be great. Yeah, so he's making another big play. This time around though, we're ready. Astenkia is running for her life. Makes sense. Uh-huh. I might be able to surround Karanak. How's this thing doing? I will say his lord is very annoying. His lord's very annoying, isn't he? Run, Astenkia, run. Dude, this guy. Yeah, if I can get the lord snipe on him though, it'd be great. We'd be totally fine. Astenkia should be able to rally too. He's gonna recapture some points, but I got an early-ish capture lead. That's pretty nice. Do I have any cav here? God dang, he just sniped her. Just sniperinoed her? Okay. This is definitely a match where we were slightly underprepared, I must say. I definitely did not expect him to be this good at just sniping everything. Definitely very annoying. I do have my Frosty back. Nice. Probably have to resummon Astenkia though. God dang, single entity sniping squad. If I just kept my sleds close, I think we would have been totally fine. I kind of goobered it. Such is life. But, you know, we get a couple kills here. We got a big cav summon. His lord's extremely injured. Extraordinarily injured, so that's gonna be quite nice. Karanak might even die, you know. We got a super cav charge over here, so that's pretty nice. There you go, Karanak. Once Karanak's down, I think we'll be in a much better position. A little bit of an artillery shot there. Totally fine, totally fine. A little bit of a shot, a little bit of a terror out. Should be able to focus fire Karanak now. Triple cap's a little spooky and all, but not the end of the world. There's a heal. Okay, all right. So I can start retaking points now. He has pushed up pretty aggressively, and his points are more or less completely undefended. He has but a couple dudes here. Unfortunately, Frosty's gone. Very unfortunate. Come on, just get the squeeze through. Just get the squeeze. And then what do I want? I probably want Stankia back, right? Probably want her back. Oh, God. I was a little unfamiliar with how to play this one properly. Still, though, despite all of that, I should be able to get a Stankia back. I should be able to secure one of these points. Presumably. And then we can start getting our comeback from there. These teeny tiny marauders here are no match for the might of the Kislev war sleds. So they're going to be routed off just fine. And that's going to stem the bleeding ticket-wise for a little bit. Once their Stankia's back, I'll be okay. His Bloodthirster is super duper incredibly massacred right now. He is not having a very good time. And given that he's not going to be able to be re-summoned, I think we should be a-okay. Karnak almost dying. He almost dies. We got a Stankia back too. Come on, just shoot him. Karnak barely holding it together there. Surely he doesn't kill a Stankia, right? Could you just shoot him? Or if she just shoots him? We'll see. Gets a little bit of a shot off. Okay. Do I have any cav summons we can bring in here? Rear charge on these little dudes. There's a heal for my chariots. Okay, Karnak's dead. Okay, we're good. That's a big plus for sure. No more Karnak. Hell yeah. So can I get enough DPS here to clear him out is the big question. He has a lot of Minotaurs, but I do have my chariots. I got a little patriarch action in here. I have a couple ideas. Maybe they'll do well. I mostly need the cav though. The cav is where it's at. But at least having 1 point will be a little bit better for me. There you go. If I can kill his Bloodthirster, it's over too, by the by. Okay, so we'll just pull back. I can use the Forbidden Fens here. And then just get a little bit of a sandwich on him. That should be pretty brutal for him. Maybe even we'll see some routes. Unfortunately, no terror is probably the roughest part of this. But yeah, maybe they'll rout off. It's a pretty good charge. It's a pretty nifty one. There you go. Nice. Very nice. Okay, so that's one little itty bitty route. I should be able to secure the next point soon. Stankia, of course, is in here. She's doing fine. Should be able to get a full surround on these guys with my chariots. Stankia is pretty brutal too. Thankfully for me, Minotaurs are not the spookiest things in the world. There goes my cav. Okay, and now it's time for the Bloodthirster. Overall, time-wise, we're doing decent. I have a bunch of infantry here. The Bloodthirster is gonna get brutalized pretty hard. You know what? We'll just slow down his Minotaurs to buy me a little bit more time. We have lots of cav here, and a sandwich surround would be amazing. Stankia can hold that capture point just fine. And there you go, just like that. The Minotaurs are now dead. Hell yeah, all right. It's a lot of infantry brutalizing we got going on too. Minotaurs should be just full dead from this. I just gotta make sure he doesn't take this point and I'll be okay. Just gotta make sure he doesn't take it. There we go. Those Minotaurs get routed because Kislev is a leadership bunker busting beast of a faction. Now all we need is Patriarch. You know, kind of crazy how quickly Kislev can turn things around with just a little bit of a leadership hit. Now we're gonna need to save up for that big old Bloodthirster duel at the end here. But he is almost army wiped, okay? Despite the very vicious misplays I may have made earlier, He is definitely on the ropes now. All I gotta do is take this final point in the next few minutes, and I'll be fine. It's basically just Marauders and a return of Karanak. That's totally fine by me. Ammunition's definitely getting a little bit low, but I should still be okay. We have a whole Griffin Legion here. All right, come on. Everybody glob up. There's the route. You know, I could bring in the Frostworm. The Frostworm would be a great source of terror in this particular situation. There you go. There's the heal. Yeah, I feel like the Frostworm is where it's at. Karanak ain't too scary either. Yeah, so he's gonna hunker down there. I'll grab one of these sleds just to bully his infantry on that far side. Everyone else gotta be a little bit more useful though. Astankia definitely needs to get her bear shot ability off. There we go. I'm just kind of waiting for another heal. There's a big Frosty. All right, there's the bear attack that everyone was talking about. And the damage is only okay. Not the best of damage in the world. But a rear charge on a couple Marauders? Now that's a different story. Fortunately, Karanak's beast. There we go. A little bit of that. So he sent the Korngors over here. He's gone all in on the Astankia kill. Makes sense. Unfortunately, still no heals. Not until a bit later. But if I get a mass route, I'll be okay. Korngors can't be too much of an issue. That is the capture. Hell yeah. And a mass route. Wondrous. Just got to be a little careful with my dudes on the flank. Get the things in the wood here. There you go. That's a mass route. The only thing that matters right now is his capture. Because then he shall be triple capped. Yeah, that's the crazy thing about this build. You can screw up at the beginning and it still wins. Insanity. Can you believe it? I know I can't. I'm actually pretty surprised at how well this game went. Considering the beginning was pretty awful. Let's be real. That was definitely not one of my best openers. But despite that, you know, it's still kind of cooking. A little bit of a terror route. That's okay. Just got to run him down. He can't capture that quickly. Frostworm has shattered his forces along the flank. Wondrous. Okay, Mother Astankia, you can go there. Yeah, so now he's got some Minotaurs. Totally fine. By me. Just gotta stop him up a little bit. Just gotta make sure he doesn't capture anything here. There's our sick charge. Speed boosted. Healing. Leadership bomb. Holy crap. That's a massive leadership bomb. Are you kidding me? Oh, he did net Ostankia though. A kill on Ostankia would be painful indeed. But at this point, he doesn't have a lot of capture weight, right? Okay, gotta save her though. Gotta save her. Yo, that's a crazy leadership bomb. Gotta just save her. Actually summons in the Furies. Okay. How quickly can Minotaurs actually capture though? Dang it, he kills her again. Can I kill his lord? If I kill his lord, I'm totally fine, right? He's pretty dead. He's pretty much in the dead zone, I think. I think we win on a double cap too. So with him dead, I think it's over. As scary as things were, he doesn't have a lot of capture weight here. Our stealing of the point has gone magnificently. Karanak is dead once again. Our wondrous Cav have slammed into his Minotaurs to slow down his capture rate. Nice. I will say though, this was way closer than it needed to be. If I had just played a little bit smarter at the beginning of the game, we would have been completely and utterly fine, but you know what? Sometimes you make it a little spicy for yourself. I win on a double cap though, so I actually don't have to worry about this. It should be completely over. Very nice. This game was a little bit more sus than the last one. I'll give it that. This one definitely could have been played a little bit smarter. Do I want another frost worm or the incarnate? Probably just a frost worm. He didn't even capture the point yet. Thank goodness for my cav and their stalling capabilities. Karanak's dead. Yeah, Griffin Legion kind of got obliterated. Those are Minotaur great weapons. It's kind of crazy though. I can't believe we won. Imagine throwing your lord and losing 2,000 gold and you still win it. Sus dude to misplays, not the build though. The build's amazing. This build is like, it's so good. It gets me into the game mode where I'm not even like using it properly. The fact that I'm like not even using it properly because I'm like, we're gonna be ahead anyways, who cares? That's the only spooky part. It's asking for the overconfidence. Great game though. Kislev, isn't that like a bad matchup usually? Kislev into Korn. Yeah, I lost the incarnate for free and Ostenkia. Can you believe it? I straight up lost like 5,000 gold almost, or I guess 4,000 gold. His Hellforge Bellows wasn't useful though, so that helped me a little bit. And his infantry was actually useless because they would route to everything. Kislev charges just give too much of a leadership debuff. Gold Knight makes your lords way tankier. There is like some Gold Knight shenanigans, but because I have 3 single entities, if I take the Gold Knight, it's gonna be I don't get healing from the Patriarch. And the healing from the Patriarch is kind of insane. So like Gold Knight has a net, negates magic attacks, right, and can offer physical resist. Asenkia doesn't have base physical resist though. So like why not just have a Patriarch, right? Patriarch makes my everything way tankier. That's just better. Yeah, maybe Gold Knight against in other builds, but this build, Patriarch's totally fine. Astenkia can give her whole army magic attacks. I didn't even take that, man. It's mostly Korn Gores anyways, but you can give a 55 meter range magic attack. The thing is though, Frost Worms do magic attack. Oh, they don't? It's just the Incarnate that does magic attacks? Whatever. They do so much damage with the bonus versus large, it's fine. But yeah, the healing from the Patriarch was really good. It helped reel in the deficit a little bit. Solo Spaghetto gets a buy round, so they get a free Swiss point. Oh, they already got the free Swiss point. Awesome. I don't like stroking his ego. It ain't good for him, but gotta say, well played. I'm aware that my ego makes me lose like all my games. I gotta reel it in real hard if we're gonna win it. But yeah, that was a sick game. I feel so empowered right now. Just don't let it get to my head. Oh god. Seriously though, by the end of today, I'm just gonna be like just power tripping. Then I'll throw my guys to a darn Goblin Hewer again. Karavthir, you just beat a Thunder Barge? Hell yeah. Yo, Karavthir, you beat Outer Region? Dude, it took you about as long to beat Outer Region as it took me to beat Outer Region since I came back. The Thunder Barge got 160 value. Oh god, what did you have, like 5 cannons? Gotta call the Lord Sack a gambit now. The Anticity Gambit. Oh god, please no. I want to be named for something, but not that. But yeah, Kislev is so good at routing chaff. It's why I think I don't have to worry about Marauders and such. One cav charge and they get -8 leadership. Double crane gunners and double grand cannons on it the whole game. God, that's crazy, man. Dude, out of region, we don't gotta worry about him then? That's 2 losses for out of region then. He's out. God dang. It's pretty spice. Martin has to drop out of the tourney, by the way, because of internet issues. God, the poor guy, man. He's living in like an internet dead zone. The brutality. The Ostankia Gankia. Dude, I love that. I love that. That sound that rolls off the tongue like crazy. Serves him well for playing dwarves. The random dwarf hate. B6's opponent just dropped out too. So B6 should have 2 Swiss points. We'll give it to him. At least it should be 2, right? It's her trait. Her base trait is magic attacks of the whole army. That might be a campaign thing. Samonsuke. I think that's just a campaign thing. A lot of campaign effects don't make it into multiplayer because they'd be a little busterino. Let's see here. B6 has... Oh no, B6 should be at 1 opponent point. And indeed they are... at 1. Okay, so it looks like Total Tavern's working properly today. Hell yeah. Yo, Karabtir, you're honestly, your Cathay is like good enough to compete in like the lower big leagues. Like, I think at this point, some people are gonna start looking at you and be like a little bit fearful. I think you're out of the no-name category. If you're locking in with Cathay. The thing is, you gotta eventually learn other factions to play in like the big tournaments, but starting off with Cathay and causing some fear, making people drop out of my tournaments, that's a good start. All right, so solo Spaghetto should have 1 Swiss point. If we take a look-see here, they have 1 Swiss point, so I can advance the Swiss. Message the Gobos. Round 3. We're up against Sipa. Hell yeah. All right. I've only played against them once, I guess, maybe. Sipa's apparently a very good player. Apparently they're quite strong at the game. So, what are they playing? SFT Declaration. Sipa's playing Ogies. The Ogre Kingdoms. So what, do we play on Itza? Itza, Terracotta Graveyard. Terracotta Graveyard. Crystal Lake. Let's play on Graveyard. Sure, why not? Terracotta Graveyard. There's some trees. I think that helps my build because... Oh, whoops, wait, no, I'm supposed to ban a map. Whoops, I just told him the map that I wanted to play on. That's a silly goose maneuver. I'm gonna ban Itza, and he might ban Terracotta Graveyard now. Whoops, it daisies. Oh my goodness. Cathay is just Dowie if we were being real Dowie plus mid-cav minus killing power. Cathay is not Dowie because Dowie have... Okay, I guess Harmony basically makes the front line Dowie. The back line is basically Dowie. Their artillery's basically Dowie. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Cathay is Dowie without blasting charges. That's why they're not that scary. If you gave Cathay miners with blasting charges, they would be sick. They would be sick. Alrighty, here we go. Kislev into the Ogre Kingdoms. Can it be done? Ogres are notoriously painful to deal with. Notoriously painful and annoying. Because they got a bunch of anti-large. In some cases, the forest fight is very bad for you. Nangao Grenadiers are not blasting charges. They're outclassed by archers, man. When archers have more DPS than your grenades, you got a problem, good sir. You got a big ol' fat problem. That's most definitely a no bueno situation. Just imagine. Archers? The archers beat the grenadiers, man. It's so sad. The grenades would be good if they could do their job, but they can't. Just give them less ammunition, more damage, or like, I don't know, high ammunition. You know, just give them high ammunition, high armor piercing damage, you know? And then that way maybe they don't kill chaff as well, but like maybe they can kill armored or something. I don't know. I don't know, man. Or just give them higher DPS and less HP. Like, it's fine. They're pretty routable anyways. Everyone gets all worked up about grenade units because they don't know how to deal with them. And like, yeah, they're a really high DPS unit, but like they're generally really easy to route, so. I don't know, but look, if people don't know how to deal with them, then fine, so be it. This is why we can't have nice things. Okay, then again, a lot of people do hate the grenades. A lot of people do. I just think it's interesting to have an ability that like has some really high impact and a really hard counter. You know, I think as long as grenade units have easy counters, it's fine. Or just make them really good at chaff clearing, you know, give them like no armor piercing, like 1 armor piercing, but a lot of normal damage. That way high armor will be able to tank them. That would be probably the best way to do it. I think no one wants their elites to die to blasting charges. Just double their attack frequency. Just make them just two-hand lobbing grenades all the time. That'd be hype. And then that way they just fully lock in a melee unit because they can never stand back up because there's so many grenades. It would kind of look silly, but maybe. It's fine if you're defending a wall or something in campaign, yeah. But in campaign, everything works, so. Anyone remember the grenades from Shogun 2? I have never experienced Shogun 2 before. Sad times. Why are Seekers banned only for Slanesh? It's because I'm doing bans for faction diversity in my single faction tournaments. Instead of just removing units that are strong. Because in my head, single faction tournaments are way more interesting if we have people playing more factions. And because Demons of Chaos really don't see a lot of play, they're not making it to the finals all the time. They don't need to be nerfed. I think it's fine. But if they do start just dominating single faction tournaments with Seekers, yeah, I'll restrict them. Seems like people have been able to manage it fairly well, though. Demons of Chaos just has so many weaknesses that, even with Seekers, right, they can't just get hard countered by non-armor piercing spam. Make blasting charges strapped to the miners' chests so they are a unit of doughy bloated corpses. Okay, let's see here. I feel like that would be pretty jokes. I don't think CA's I'm gonna do that one though. That would be a spicy decision. Have you tried making Corn work as a kite expert? Corn works as a melee rush faction. As a kite faction, they don't have the DPS. But no one expects the Corn kite, so maybe you don't need a high DPS build. Maybe you can bring Wrathmongers. At most, though, I think you're only kiting versus factions like Nurgle and the like. Or she didn't have any issues winning with a Slaneshi Warriors of Chaos. When? Today? I removed the restriction on Hellstriders, by the way. Hellstriders, Slanesh, we have seen people play Slanesh recently. Specifically Egg Special. And Egg Special hasn't been able to win a tournament with the restricted Slanesh. Which tells me that it's probably a little over-nerfed. I'm still restricting Pavane. But I think if Pavane is nerfed, you don't really need to restrict Hellstriders. Because Egg Special should be able to win with Slanesh. Like in my head, if Egg Special can't win with Slanesh, that's a little bit strange. Better to over nerf though, because you know we don't want to have we don't want to under nerf and just have a meta of Slanesh. All right, the terracotta graveyard. So I brought me some artillery pieces for the ogres. I got a little bit of Grom action. It's pretty hype. Now, what makes Little Grom defensible? It's that I'm leaving it in reserves. We're leaving it in reserves. Oh, it's this map. This one's terracotta graveyard. Okay, good to know. Ready, good luck, have fun. So we got our route bomb over here. Anti-large from the Frostworms, plus 25 against ogres. So they'll be landing hits like no one's business. We got a sick heal, Silex Lullaby. We got Goliath, the Spirit Bear. The plan is simple. Get Lil Grom, park it somewhere, and just blast them. Just a little Grom action, yeah. Yeah, the proposals to rename Grom the Paunch to Big Grom. Great times. Yo, the terracottas here are so massive. This is like actually like Papa Kolek sized, right? Yo, Papa Kolek broke his foot and shoved it into its chest. That's pretty crazy. Them terracottas, they're everywhere. Is Slanesh a Demons of Chaos? Are they a Demon of Chaos or are they separate factions? Both, yeah. So he has Scrag the Slaughterer and Man-Eaters and a couple Lead Belchers. Okay. Now, Man-Eaters and Lead Belchers. Okay, so Lead Belchers tells me I don't want that smoke. Right, we don't want that. I'm going to go for a shooty build instead. Lil Grom might have a little bit of a hard time getting a line of sight, but it's okay. So let's just speed boost our way over here. We can ignore the trees pretty easily, and then I can pick off a couple of his side dudes. I basically just want to play the value game right now. I might even summon Lil Grom here, but I think here is just fine. That should do. Stankia with her shots. Hell yeah. Alright, now what are we shooting at? Does he have any pigback riders here? Just some Noblars. Just some Noblars. I might as well get the ability used though. Just to start off. There's my Lil Grom. There it is. And then we're just gonna shoot up his man-eaters. Nice and simple, like. It's gonna take a little while to wear him down. Does it hit a tree? Oh, it hits Scrag too. What a Chad. Well, that's pretty nice. Yeah, the tree coverage is not that dense on this map, which definitely helps us out. Interesting to see blood vultures. I doubt they'll be able to do much in this situation. Yeah, let's just speed boost into these Noblars, get them killed. Time is of the essence, so I really gotta hammer them as fast as I can. There you go. It's a little bit of a spell cast over there. There we go. There go his trappers. Hell yeah. Stankia is just gonna give her a little bufferino there, and then we already have a little bit of a mass route. That's a pretty solid one. That's a good start to today's shenanigans. I doubt he's gonna land the blood vultures there. That would be pretty crazy, but you never know. There's a mass Noblar route, man. Absolutely chonky Noblar route. There we go, nice. And then we have our little wind spell here. Against pigback riders, it's not as effective though. So I think I'll pass on that actually. What are those? Just Ogre Bulls dual weapons? Okay. And we charge uphill back into them. You see how quickly we can route off them vultures. It's pretty chill. Pigback riders are a different issue though. Gotta manage them. Okay, now he's going for a bit of a surround, so I gotta escape here. We may lose the Patriarch, but it looks like Mother Stankia will be surviving. A little leadership debuff with our Cauldron too will help out. How the Pigback Riders doing? They're kind of just chasing my artillery piece. That's fine. At some point, I should just be able to leadership break them. That shouldn't be too bad. Frost Worms are doing okay. Wait a second. His stuff is completely undefended. His weapon teams. I can just kill him. That seems pretty easy. Sure, let's do that. In the meantime, I can charge these Noblars in the back. There you go. So we just charge the weapon teams. We do lose our little dude, unfortunately. Our little guy. But losing that's gonna be pretty brutal. Yeah, Lead Belcher catch. Hell yeah. All right. Get them that leadership debuff. Definitely want this Frost Worm to get out of there, so we'll give him a speed buff. That should help him out. Nice. I can start capturing this. Noblars are going down. Lil Grom should be fine in theory. There we go. All right. Alrighty. Stankia just needs to stay safe. So the Noblars are gone. Hell yeah. Lil Grom's getting into position. What are those? More pigback riders? Okay. Fine by me. Look, the lead belchers are dead, and that's all that really matters. These Noblars aren't too bad. Little frost worm here, though. Kind of getting bullied. I do have some Griffin Legion here. Overall, we're trading decently. Losing the Patriarch kind of sucks, though. Losing one frost worm does kind of suck. But I should be able to capture these points. Should be able to get another spell cast there just to rout off the Noblars and get them off my back. Because they are being oh so annoying. The Patriarch should be okay, though. I imagine the Patriarch will be fine. on a resummon, because it means I'll get my heals back. Oh, and he does secure the point. God dang, okay. The ROR Noblars continued to be a rather large menace too. Okay, all right. Looks like we have a real tussle going on. So those are the main eaters. We don't want to deal with that just yet. The Noblars in the back line are very annoying. I should be able to secure another capture though, at least. But this is definitely a little sus. Okay, so we can get downhill charge on those ogres. Little Grom's just gonna get over here. Should be able to get just a swift old charge. And then the Patriarch can start picking me up. There we go. Do we try and route off the Noblars here? Dang, he has a point held. Dude, Gold's main eaters, man. What a menace. Do I have enough here to even route these guys? It's kind of sus. Without a big fat route, it's gonna be painful. I actually have to disengage from his man eaters. Didn't even manage to capture the point either. The brutality. That's pretty rough, actually. That's pretty rough. Trading wise, could be better too. Little frost worm here in a little bit of a pickle. Mayhaps this was not the best map to fight on. I thought it would be a little hard for the ogres to maneuver. Ended up causing me a little bit of grief. All right, well, we shouldn't be able to triple cap me at least. And I got more calving coming. Things can turn very quickly for us as his army gets more and more tired. And mine continues to heal on up. So we're gonna be playing for that out. Like, saber tusks here are not the strongest guys in the world. Little Grom's gonna have to keep on running though. Maybe we can charge with it so it doesn't route. Maybe I can kill Scrag if I'm lucky. Scrag is fairly out in the open right now. So mayhaps we get a pick there. It would be pretty big. It would be pretty big if we managed it. Right? He's very out in the open. There you go. So we're just gonna beat him up with everything we got. There's a big old cannon shot to the face, and I'll have a heal in 12 seconds. Okay. Come on. Without a Scrag kill, I'm boned. So it really is all hands on deck. There's our heal. There's our heal to patch ourselves up a bit. It's a little bit of a possible terror route if we're lucky. Come on, just kill him. I don't think we're killing Scrag, guys. I think he got us with the man eater play. Because he's probably gonna heal up, right? He's probably gonna heal up. I'm still gonna go for it though. You never know when things miraculously change in your favor. You know, well, maybe we'll just get a 6 Scrag kill and then there goes my incarnate though. Okay, I do still have a frost worm, I guess. Come on. Come on, one big rear charge is all I need. Okay, there we go. There's another wind spell. Come on, man. This guy ain't gonna route. He ain't gonna route, man. Oh god, the freakishly strong Scrag. What a menace. What a menace. Yeah, I really don't have much to get through his ogre bulls. I was hoping the single entity blob would do okay. At this point, I just have to try and steal some points, I guess. He's brought most of his forces here to try and save Scraggy. Losing our incarnate, though, is going to be really rough. Do I have another heal? Very soon. Okay. Okay, we got a little bit of a terror route. So maybe we can chuck down a slow over there. Dang, no, he's just going to make it out. Dang, all right. Well, the only thing I have left is potential side captures. I have a couple side captures and that's about it. So I can take over the high ground point. The Scrag Snipe was not a success. He has more Ogre Bulls on the horizon. I think this one we definitely could have just played it better, though. I don't know how I feel about the artillery piece, actually. There was like some nice back and forth picks. He just kind of had the slight advantage. Thing is, once you get an advantage with this build, you can really start skyrocketing to victory. But I think I could have just ignored the lead belchers. I have a heal. I have a heal. Yeah, all right. That's GG. Well, maybe I get a double cap. He wins on one, though. That's the big issue. Okay. I'll stick around because why not? I think this actually was closer than one might expect. All right, GG. GG, well played. I think if I played that again and just played a little bit safer, I probably would have been fine. The biggest problem were the main eaters. I just could not kill them. They were alive like the whole game. 2,300 gold. The frost worms against the monstrous units are not nearly as good as I would have hoped for. Elemental Incarnate did okay. But yeah, the little Grom didn't do anything. I needed like something to kill off the pigback riders. Yeah, too little Grom action. All right. Well, let's see how this one pans out then. It's not the highest sign-up tournament. If I win my next round, I should be fine, even if SIPA doesn't make it to top 4, but I think it'll be a little close. Yeah. If I were to play against ogres again, what would be my build? I think the map, you do actually want a flat map. I think Terracotta Graveyard was really bad for me. And you would want something to deal with trappers. If he's just gonna send trappers on your little Groms, you gotta have something to shut them down, right? So I think you don't want as many dervishes. You can probably shut down trappers with, let's see here. What's cheap? What's affordable? Probably just a couple normal Kossars, right? Probably just a couple normal Kossars and it's fine. Sleds to just shoot them. Well, he did bring lead belchers. So lead belchers would have shut down the sleds. You do need like a little Grom. I think quad Kossar is fine. And then after that, you can spam Cav and you'll probably be okay. I think a lot of it just came down to really bad little Grom use. Yeah, this feels good enough. Kislev versus ogres. Or actually, wait. Anything I can adjust up here? Incarnate's still good. Missile resist is still good. Vengeance of Spirits? Nah. Curse Cauldron. I could rampage him. Witch Brew and Forbidden Fens is not as useful here, but yeah, might as well. I think I would get rid of the Spirit Bear. Keep the Fate of Interlopers. And then swap out the Cav for something a little more elite. This feels pretty good. Kislev versus ogres. Aight. This feels fine enough. Hopefully we make it to the semis. Kossar spears, just so they don't die to an ogre charge. I like having just a slightly cheaper Kossar. I think I have enough extra money lying around though, where I might as well do something like this. Probably a smarter decision to have choices. But yeah, I think if Lil Grom stays alive and it just kind of plonks away and gets value throughout the game, we would probably be fine. One little Grom is good enough. And then I have my Griffin Legion, which is sick. Double Frostworm Incarnate's pretty sick. And then it's just not getting bogged down. I thought the trees would be my friend with the Forbidden Fens, because it gives you Strider. But the trees were not my friend, sadly. Got to use the Hag Bear ability. I didn't have too many targets against ogres. You want to use this against elite infantry, preferably stationary elite infantry. But all right. Classic Intensity 3-1 incoming. We have 5 more matches. Dervishes are really bad and overcosted. They're a little overcosted. They're cheap cav with Buyer Blood though. I don't think dervishes are the worst. Would I rather have a winged lancer than 2 dervishes though? Maybe. Yeah, this is fine though. Same concept. You just can't get your backline dived as easily. And then you get some sick little Grom plays. It'd be amazing. This is the pro strat, right? You lose against them, and then when you face them in the semis, you give them a sucker punch. Anything else I need here? You could also take horse archers. Horse archers are really good early game capture weight. If we're playing against ogres, I probably want a I probably do want like a little bit of like, because like these guys do kill trappers too, and they can keep away from ogre bulls. It's not the worst. Sled horse archer kite with Lil Grom. So Lil Grom shut down the thingamajigs. The thing is, we would have to do enough damage to fight a triple cap. It is asking to get triple capped. Okay, you know what? 1 horse archer instead of a Kossar. That way, if it is just pigback riders, we should be fine. Yeah, they would get warded off by Belchers. So you need to shut down the Belchers with like all of this stuff. Man, yo, those man-eaters though. Let's take a look at the man-eaters. Those Golg's man-eaters. So they're extremely expensive. They have 10,000 HP, adaptive tactics, which can give them up to 58 melee attack. And they have 1,000,000 mass. Yes, 1,700 mass. 80 leadership, so the very high leadership. You know, I don't think it's the worst though. ITP is probably the spookiest part, but we do counter them with our artillery. I think on a big flat map we will stomp them next time. I know what needs to be done. It was solid play though, sending his pigback riders on me. I got a lot of trapper kills early on. The only reason we didn't lose immediately is because he had blood vultures and trappers that weren't really doing much. But yeah, this map's not it. It's not it. All right, come on, next round. Here we go. 2 more matches. Sipa just needs to win 1 more game and we're good to go. Ogre Kingdoms, a spooky faction indeed. Will it be an Ogre Kingdoms finals though? Big important question. Ogre Kingdoms finals would be pretty scary, right? Is there anything that can take out the Ogre Kingdoms? Who's Oishi playing? What's Oishi playing? Let's take a quick look. Can Oishi take him out? Oishi also has a 3-0. Demons of Chaos versus Ogres. Now that'll be exciting. Demons of Chaos versus Ogres. Who wins that? So this is unrestricted Demons of Chaos, by the way. There are absolutely no restrictions, so they're gonna spam these 1k seekers. Is he gonna change bringer him? Is he gonna whip out the change bringers maybe? I don't know. Is it gonna whip out the flesh hounds? Changebringer flesh hound seeker? The death heads, the plague drones? Yo, what even is? I don't know. Like, I don't know. I guess you probably just play it like Slanesh with like Fiends. You spam blues. Plague Bearers might actually be okay here because Ogres don't have a lot of range to shoot them. Mayhaps that is the tactic. Exalted bloodletters? The thing is, like, what trades into Ogre Bowls? I think Plague Bearers would actually be great. Like a Plague Bearer blue build with, like, you know, Lord of your choice, right? Who is allowed to run Pavane, by the way. You know, with a couple abilities, they'll cost like 2,500. And then you just spam Cav. This feels probably fine. Bro, you know bro's Nurgle maxing like a total Chad. Oishi, does Oishi like Nurgle maxing? I feel like that's not his thing. Maybe Charix would. Because Charix loves them underdogs. Alright, here we go. Next round at Goblins. Round 4. Alright, we're up against Broccoli Fangirl. Yo, yo. Did I get down matched? Or do they have 3 wins? Because that'd be pretty crazy if they have 3 wins. Oh, no, I guess it'd be 2 wins. It'd be 2 wins. Well, I should be fine. I might tie with Charix, though. So Charix, Reginald Puggington, and myself are the ones competing for the next spot. Seepa and Son of Heaven are playing against each other. I think that's good for me. I think Seepa would have a slightly higher chance of winning than if they faced Oishi. So that's pretty nice. And of course, you gotta win this one. Let me check. Let me check their factions. Nurgle, it's Nurgle time. Oh hell yeah. Yo, okay, so we are playing against Nurgle Max. Okay, hell yeah. So I'm Kislev. So what are we doing? Eastern Owl Colony sounds terrible. Ban Eastern. I'm Kislev. Okay, this can't be that bad. It's Nurgle. It's Nurgle. Nurgle's basically got nothing on us. He wants to play on Bordelot Landing. Isn't that like a really good map for us? Very wide, very spacious. If I were him, I would be a little worried. I'd be a little worried. Apparently they haven't been watching the stream today. That's my cue. It's my cue for the easy dubs. So what if he brings in Plague Drones? Do I have to worry about that? Plague Drones can't be that bad, right? Do Thing in the Woods have magic damage? They don't. Yeah, Nurgle's just demon undead. Except it's way worse, because Nurgle don't have the same amount of healing that undead do. At least not like passive healing on their infantry. So definitely much more manageable, I'd say. They are very prone to getting shot in the face the entire game. But who knows? They may have an absolutely exceptional build and I just get straight murdered. There's always a chance that they just have something completely unexpected that kills us. I'm honestly not too worried because this army is really good at clearing chaff in general. So I don't think like Marauder spam will do it. I don't think Nurglings will do it. Plague Bearers probably not either. I think we'll be fine. Also, yeah, when demons lose leadership, they take 1,000,000 damage. they lose like over 100 HP per second, while vampire counts lose like 10 HP per second. Vampire counts don't care about leadership loss, like almost at all. They do have really low leadership, but it's offset by their healing, so like it makes them really hard to kill. Yeah, ROR things in the wood have remove healing contact, or they have remove healing on contact when they do melee. That's pretty hype. All right, I will remember to use the Hag Bear ability more this time. Who's your favorite faction to play against? Mine is usually Nurgle for the first 75% of the match. Nurgle late game when you're all out of ammo and you're just trying to capture points. That's where you learn that getting into a melee grind with Nurgle is instant death. Some crazy, crazy DPS they have there. But in general, my favorite faction to play against would be probably, let's see here, probably Khorne, actually. Khorne is a very kiteable faction. You can kite Khorne most of the time with even the most mild of shenaniganries. Ready, good luck, have fun. Yeah, I'm not too worried about Khorne. But a very thin build, good thing, or a very tall build. I have war sleds, so this should be totally fine for me. Unless he has like a million plague drones, I guess. I don't know what would cause someone to go for such few Nurgle units. Hag maxing's faring pretty well so far. The only game we lost was against ogres, but I think it was because of a slight build and playstyle mishap. Pestigores. So he has something that's just insanely expensive. The Noxbringer. Okay, we're good. So the Noxbringer is an anti-ranged Kislev tool. I have no ranged. So in theory, he just straight up dies. Noxbringer is gonna try and shoot up my artillery. I mean my cavalry. So it's gonna give him the dance. Give him a little bit of that dance action. Whoop! Don't want to walk into those AoE pits. And yeah, now we just start spamming our chariots. I'm aware the Noxbringer can bully the chariots a little bit, but I think we'll be okay. Here's the idea. If I can stop Tarmakon and his heroes with my cav, then my single entities delete the Noxbringer, we win the game. That would be the best case scenario. You can see there's a little bit of fear in him. He brings in the Ogies. Dang, Noxbringer overshooting today, man. Noxbringer's kind of doing him dirty. And we're just gonna ignore Tarmakon. Noxbringer doesn't really do that much damage to us either. Hey, Esterific, what's up? We're the spiders? The spiders? She can take spiders in campaign, right? Alright, here we go. I'll just capture this point. Estenkia can, oh, she doesn't have her thingamajig. Whoopsies. I guess it's fine, though. I don't really need it. Being able to capture the points early against Nurgle is such a good blessing for us. And I'll get a free Nurgling pick over here. There you go. Get a little bit of this action. His Pestigores will get obliterated. They are completely unsupported. So they should just rout off here. And his Nurglings shall fare no better. Very nice. Goodbye, Nurglings. And yeah, I guess we just kind of play around these two capture points. Ah, solid. So he does go for a flank capture. He will be able to get himself a little bit of a bufferino, won't he? Now, can I catch his skirmishers? The skirmishers is an interesting choice. You can see those Nurglings just dying, by the way. Rough time for them. I have a, I guess a Kossar unit here to start harassing these guys. I have so much time right now. We really don't have to worry much. We maintain a single cap. Totally good for me. We've been able to ignore the Noxbringer for most of the battle so far. He does capture the point, though. But will he be able to defend the rest of his Pestigors? The big question of the century. He has a unit of cav over here. Shouldn't be too bad. Are you ready? You ready, guys? So there's our speed amp. There's our speed amp. And there's a charge. The speed amped Pestigor charge. Terrifying. Quite literally. Because we also have this guy to reduce their leadership. That's just gonna remove those Pestigors from the battle immediately. Do take a little bit of damage on my cav, but it's okay. I should be able to start resecuring this point because it doesn't have anything to really help there, as he is starting to lose units. And now it's time for the big play. So Tarmakon is a little bit pushed back now by my cavalry. We're using the sacrificial cavalry to stomp Tarmakon so that I can kill his exalted hero here as fast as we can. That's the goal. That's the goal. Because without the exalted hero, he really starts to lose out on a lot. Gonna get our vigor bonus. Yeah, he's gonna lose a lot of single entity strength upon his death. So that's just a great snipe. I had a half battered unit of Griffin Legion and we killed off an entire exalted hero. So we simply chase them off now with my Patriarch. Kill off yet another unit of infantry. Should be pretty straightforward. Hit him up with the cauldron. That'll beat him up pretty hard. You can see they're running for their lives. And they should be done for. Yeah, this is a massive leadership bomb build. Massive, massive leadership bomb. But he has a couple Furies here. Not a big deal. So the Pestigors are gone. Nurgle, weirdly enough, kind of suffers against a lot of single entities. Because oftentimes they don't bring enough single entities to actually take the big fight. And as you can see, it's hurting him pretty bad. There you go. A little bit of a chase off going on. Yo, he's like running out of units, man. He's just straight running out of units. It's brutal. It's bullying. Pestigors are back. Should be fine. Poor Nurgle, man. Poor Nurgle. Yeah, there go the Pestigors. Then we can start bullying his hero over there. His horsemen are going down slowly but surely. He commits the Furies, so we can just get a counter charge on them. No problem. Patriarch's coming back. The Doom Squad can kill a unit of Nurglings. Not a problem. Sleds for his infantry. Furies should be dead. Alright, Pestigors are effectively out of the game now. Worst case scenario, he desummons them, but I'd rather have my big Frost Worm participating in this fight. There you go. Lots of kills. Dead Nurglings over here. Man, these poor Plague Ogres. Plague Ogres has just been sitting there the whole game doing nothing. Same with Tarmakon. Yeah. I think he also just didn't really bring the best tools for this build. It was a lot of Pestigors who are exceptionally bad versus type of stuff. There's our speed boost. Leadership hit. It's the same rinse and repeat cycle. We can do that every 2 minutes. And they're gone. And they're completely gone, which means I can capture this point. Pretty good win. So all I gotta do now is hope that Sipa wins his match. And that I can get a rematch into his ogres. If we can manage that, we'll be okay. I just gotta not make the same misplays that I did earlier. Run, my little worm, run. We'll charge Tarmakon again. Dang, and there's triple cap. Yeah, he definitely just had a rough build into this, I think. I think his build was not it. I can actually pile in with my sleds right now to maximize this heal. It's all about maximizing your spell casting. There's the heal. Everyone's just chilling. Then we speed boost for the disengage. And that should let me safely skedaddle. Nice. And he leaves the game. That was enough brutalization. Poor Nurgle. GG, well played. So we lost on round 3 against Sipa. The odds are pretty good for us, right? They're pretty good for us to make it into semis. Worst case scenario, I have to face Sipa again. But if you're gonna win a tournament, you gotta beat the best player. Or the second best player. Come on, Sipa, I'm counting on you to win. Zinch has halberds. Yeah. Though they would get shot up by the sleds. Yeah, that's definitely big ouchie, man. Poor Pestigors. No value. Noxspringer managed to actually get a little bit of value on my Cav, but that's it. Yeah, any chaff. This build's really good at routing chaff. It's not as good at fighting monstrous infantry, I found. I think that's its big weakness. So any faction that doesn't have monstrous infantry, definitely run this. If they do, you gotta figure something out. Making Kislev look non-garbage with the handicap spell choice. How hecking bad must Skaven be if this is considered the same tier? Okay, yeah, no, Skaven's way worse, right? Kislev actually has some juice. Skaven, when I'm playing like the hardest meta Skaven ever, it's pretty rough. The thing is though, I haven't played a lot of Skaven in the past. When I was playing Warhammer 2, I was usually a kite main. I loved kiting, so I'm much better at microing single entities and skirmishers than I am defending weapon teams with rat ogres. The best Skaven players, they still lose, okay? Don't get me wrong, they're still suffering out there, but they would look a lot better if I just had more practice with them. Let's go, Sipa 1. So the only people that can beat me in the bracket now are people who also lost to Sipa. In fact, I'm even above Son of Heaven, so we're guaranteed to make it semis. It's Sipa, myself, probably Oishi, and Charix, I think. Oishi's still playing. Okay, so Oishi will go up a tier. Did Son of Heaven play Oishi? Son of Heaven. Yeah, they didn't play Oishi. So if Sipa and Oishi make it up there, it's probably me, Oishi, Son of Heaven, and thing. Or maybe Charix. Who'd Charix play? Charix played Opal Bear. They lost to Opal Bear Black. They beat Solo Spaghetto. Okay. So the person that Charix lost to is not a quad win. So Charix probably doesn't make it to semis today. Dang. That misclick ruined what little hope I had. It was pretty rough though. Even if you got the heal, like there's no way you were gonna take the points, right? It is pretty brutal though to see an overcast fleshy abundance wasted on nothing. That's like at least a few thousand gold worth back. But yeah, I think I could have just ignored Tarmacon the whole game if I really wanted to. Although he is pretty fast. Ogre Tarmacon's kind of spooky. Also, he had some Rot Knights in reserve, but this build's really good versus Cav. It's like just monstrous infantry that it's bad against. Skaven would probably be A tier if they got some rat horses. Some horse rats or some other real Cav unit. I think it would totally break the whole faction though, like thematically. What I think Skaven would, I think what would be way more Skaven is either you buff the triads to the point of actually being good at catching Cav, and you give them more slows. I feel like Skaven is severely lacking on slows, so they can never catch cavalry. Something needs to bring cavalry to less than 60 speed so rat ogres can kill them. Either that, or we see another cav change that makes infantry way harder to push through. That'll be a big buff for Skaven. It could be a warp light. It could be an artillery buff, so maybe warp lightning cannons can do really well. There's options against mobility that will work fine. 60 speed rat ogres are not the worst either. And they got a lot of single entities. But yeah, I think they just need a net. I think with a net, they would be way more scary. Rat riders, a unit of clan rats riding giant rats. Just give the triads nets. If all the triads could summon, so if the triads had doppelgang, that would be pretty sick. And then they could use doppelgang to like stop cav. Like if this gave more like mass, if it was just harder to run through these, that'd be cool. Or just give spear infantry more mass, you know? So like normal infantry don't have enough mass, but spear infantry is just way better at stopping cav, maybe. I don't know. What can Cathay even do against Khorne? If I was playing Cathay versus Khorne, I think that's a really bad matchup though. Last time I went wide Cathay, which did okay. Celestial Dragon Guard beat Forsaken. But your biggest issue is Wrathmongers. Nothing on your roster can really effectively kill them. You got to get lucky and hope they stand out in the open and get shot by peasant archers for a couple minutes. Or, yeah, no, that's basically it. Wrathmongers is going to chew you up along with their other infantry. Because I don't think Celestial Dragon Guard win that fight. You have to shoot them to death. So, yeah. And Khorne's pretty good at shutting down them backlines. I feel like Eshin units are kind of just bad all around apart from gutter runners. So Skaven, these guys do have a net, gutter runners. Snare net, minus 10% speed when things are close. I think Skaven, if you made this a larger area and slow a bit more, it would be a really interesting way to buff Skaven. Because then you can use gutter runners to defend against cav, and they'll be slightly more self-sufficient too. Combine it with poison. Because right now, combined with poison, it's 25% speed debuff. They just need like a little bit more, just like a little bit more, and then you'll be good. As it stands, cav can just run right through them. Or you can keep the range. Maybe don't make it bigger, but increase the speed debuff. The Plague Monks could definitely be better. The Storm Vermin's actually in a good spot right now. But yeah, the Plague Monks of both types are really bad. Let Skaven shoot through their units. I think range rework. There just needs to be a big range rework in general. So Oishi won their game. That should put Oishi above me. I'm in third place though. Next up is Son of Heaven. So right now the top four is Sipa, Oishi, me, and Son of Heaven. We still have B6 versus Charix, Puggington versus Opal Bear, Outer Region and Corsair, Pontim's Claw versus Hilliden. But yeah, we're fairly well set to make it to semis. I just gotta have a good anti-ogre build. I think Kislev versus ogres is pretty sucky. Let's see here, because okay, Kislev doesn't. If they had the Green Knight, this would be so much better. I'm surprised how badly the Frost Worms do versus bulls. Yo, them ogre bulls, what a ripoff. Anyone know what the current Kislev meta is into ogres? Or am I supposed to spam these guys? Get a million Kislevite warriors? Kislevite warriors are good. You're telling me I should do this instead? Should I start with them? allowing Seekers and Pavane on Demons of Chaos was a choice. We actually, I don't think we've seen many Demons of Chaos wins yet. But yeah, that's what we're keeping an eye on. If Oishi isn't able to win with Demons of Chaos, then it's still TBD. Elemental Bear, yeah. Sick Elemental Bear play. Okay, you know what? Maybe this is the build. That way you have some halberds in case he's just really just standing on the point. I know Oishi's 4-0 right now. But yeah, we'll see. We shall see. Demons of Chaos has a really bad matchup into Kislev too. Leave Frostworms and Main Swarm. Well, I don't want a Main Swarm. Obviously, you can main tide with Kislev, but that's boring, man. Warp Grinders have a net? Yeah, but it sucks. You're not paying 700 gold for a net. Like, imagine if every time Teclis casts Net of Amantalk, you have to delete an entire unit of Rangers, right? So, like, you know, you have Teclis, right? And he's like, yeah, all you gotta do is just sacrifice, you completely lose the whole unit of Rangers, and you can net a unit for how long? I think it's even less. I think it's even less duration. 13 seconds. Yeah, you get a crappy Net of Amantalk for the price of a whole unit of Rangers. Wow, that's a good one right there. These Warp Grinders, huge. Unfortunately, not. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Set times. And that's the match is done. Let's see who's in the top 4. In top 4 is Sipa, Oishi, myself, and Reginald Puggington. No ties either. Hell yeah. So let's go ahead and advance to top 4. Finalize the tournament. Go on over to the top 4 thingamajig. I'm up against Sipa again. Ah, lordy. Looks like I'm going to have to figure it out now. Let us see. I was hoping it was going to be Oishi versus Sipa, but I guess it makes sense that it's this way. At Sipa, you're versus me. And looks like Outer Region is casting the other one. All right. So he's going to be casting the other one. Outer Region streaming today. Hell yeah, hell yeah. I got to remember that. All right. So it's Vengeance time versus Sipa. Mm-hmm. All right. Here we go. Reginald's not top 4. Wait, who's in the top 4? Yeah, no, you made it. You might have to refresh. Usually if you don't refresh the whole page, it doesn't like show up properly. But yeah, Reginald should have been top 4 unless I'll double check. We shall double check. And yeah, Reginald beat out Charix. Charix did not lose to Sipa or Oishi. So, yeah, gotta start workshopping this. The odds of death are rather high right now. I will say I've been enjoying Kislev quite a bit. Kislev is a very fun faction to play. Yeah, you didn't refresh the page. All right. So, Sipa. We know his Ogre Kingdom's playstyle. We banned a Ragnarok lair. So it's either Jade Tomb or Dunes of Cain. I imagine he's gonna go for Dunes of Cain. Can I get a Little Grom to work? That's the big question. If he shuts down Little Grom again, it's just Jover. It's so Jover, man. Also, no one really runs Buna anymore. Elite infantry right now suffer from like all forms of DPS. The fewer models they have, though, the stronger they get. Because they dodge archer fire, they dodge spells, they'll dodge impact damage. Fewer models is just a straight buff. Corn magic when? Yeah, Corn magic only. Sipa has not messaged me yet. Being as cute against high elves. Everything's cute against high elves, man. They're high elves. Gust of wind will take them out. Is there a stock unit you could use to protect Little Grom? Yeah, but it means I have way fewer guys in the main frontline fight. Come on, Sipa, hit me up. So I kick Sipa from the tournament if they don't respond. Just like, come on, 15 minutes. We'll give him more than 15 minutes though, since he was just here. He was just here. He should message me. I'm really interested to see how Demons of Chaos fare. With or without Pavane and Seekers. If Demons of Chaos just annihilates with like a Pavane Seeker build, probably get him restricted. Maybe we'll just remove Pavane entirely and that'll be good enough. I think the Seekers 2 would be a little extreme, but of course still have Fiends. So it's not like Demons of Chaos are hurting that much. Though honestly, like I feel like Fiends and the new Seekers are fairly comparable. Like the Seekers is still really good, but you don't lose that much needing to take Fiends, I think. Good luck with Kislev, thank you. You've given up on thin Cathay builds, Mantide is the way. Sad times to see people falling to the Mantide. I guess RTK was right. Gideon, what's up? What's this? This is Total War France. I did that ages ago. If you want to look it up, you can see this is Total War France campaign. Those were the good old days. Yo, Sipa, what's up, man? Are you gonna message me? Come on, man, you got this. Imagine I just have to kick my semis opponent again for the win. The dread corruption playstyles. Slanesh will be a menace once they get the... Okay, their new hero unit, like the new single entity unit that they're getting, how good could it possibly be? Does Slanesh need a single entity fighter? I guess if it's a good single entity fighter, it definitely adds to the roster. So there is that, I guess. I guess there's that. Sorry, just opening a window. Hopefully non-anti-large one. It'll definitely be armor piercing. It'll just be like a super fast single entity. Think like Vargulf, but more OP. I think it'll be a big bonus for them. Sorry for the sirens. You think cannons could get nerfed? I really don't see cannons used that much. Cannons actually feel like they're in a good spot right now. Anyone who spams them tends to lose domination games. Don't know about land battle though. They coming for you. The build's too hot. Yo, is Seepa actually not gonna respond? Come on, Seepa, don't do this to me. It looks bad, man. It looks real bad. Oh, he finally messaged, thank God. All right. What map are we gonna play on? Here we go. The man, the myth, the legend, he's here with the Ogre Kingdoms. Oh God. Here we go. What map shall it be? How will we die today? I think he's gonna kill us. I don't have a good solution unless the Kislevite warriors just annihilate. Who knows? Maybe the Kislevite warriors are OP. Maybe they'll be OP, and then they'll be I don't know, it's just easy peasy lemon squeezy. And then yeah, and then we just romp our way to the victory, and then we just kill demons of chaos like it's nothing. We're on the semis. We just hit semis. He wants to play Dunes. Makes sense. Dunes of Cain. Alrighty, so this is the map. This is the map that we're gonna be facing him on. Much spice indeed. Oh God, I don't know how I feel about this one, guys. I don't know how I feel about this one at all, man. This is a spice and meatball indeed. I guess this is okay. I guess this is okay. Just okay though. Best of luck, thank you. God. Oh lordy. What am I supposed to do here? Okay, I think this is a good starter. This is a great starter build. Then I have that. I don't need that. Let's see, what does this do? Nothing too useful, okay. Oh God. Do I still want that? I got 400 gold for my efforts. It's not really enough. Nothing in the Kislev roster is less than 400. Unless you count spider hatchlings. The campaign exclusive tournament for the win. Let's see. Incarnate's probably still okay, I guess. I don't know. I don't know, man. What am I supposed to do? Actually, it's not bad. Sure, you know, I'll take that. Then we get rid of one of these guys, and I have 2 of those. I got 3 of these. I have him. I have that. Okay. All right. This is where we do it. The dread ogres shall not defeat us this day. They got nothing on us. This is where we crush them into the ground, pound them to paste. If we lose, we'll get to see ogres versus demons of chaos, I presume. Yeah, Nolan Ironsides don't actually do that much more damage than normal handgunners. They just have slightly better melee stats. Man-Tide? Nah. I'm sticking to my guns. And by my guns, I mean my big ol' monsters. Oh crap, forgot my meds. There we go. I got that. That's why we lost, obviously. All right. Now that we're juiced up, here's the idea. I just got to play this one really well. He doesn't have a lot of units. I have a lot of skirmishers. What meds do you take? Just some vitamin D. I take some vitamin D because I don't have enough sunlight here in the cold wastes of Canada. I'm also indoors a lot of the time. And then yeah, a little bit for other stuff. Here we go. It's time. Here we go. Pre-game doping. That's right. So he brought Scraggy again. There's his Noblar Trapper crew on the Vanguard. Makes sense. The Thunder Tusk. It's a Thunder Tusk. I don't really have to worry about it too much. Does have some javelins, but not a big deal. Probably thought I was gonna bring a much different build than last time, but I did in fact bring the same build. I get wrecked. Get absolutely wrecked by the same build. What's he summoning over there? Okay, looking fine. His lead belchers are actually getting a little out of position, I'd say. Don't know if I fancy their positioning. I think we do go for the Griffin Legion. I'm seeing like a potential killing blow we can get done here, if I'm lucky. I have a rampage, but it's not really gonna be worth it. Don't want to take that fight, right? That's just a bad fight. The map's fairly large though, which is definitely good for us. I should be able to start nibbling at his sides because he can't really stop this shenaniganry from going down. Do I have any cheap cav? I don't got no cheapo cav. That's a shame. But I do have a double cap. We did charge his carrion. Hell yeah. His lead belchers continue to be shut down. Little bit of a hokey poke. And I don't need to cast that just yet. Okay, that's good. That's good. So first things first, we'll charge his trappers. I should be able to win this fight. He has the Noblars over there. That's not a big deal. And we're going to kill off his lead belchers this time. Aw, hell yeah. Got a little slowed though. But his lead belchers are most definitely going down. You know what? Another elite cav unit. Why not? Now he's going to commit the Thunder Tusk to save these guys. We'll just back it up. We have a little bit of a charge here. That's good. That should go fairly well for us. He doesn't have a lot like last time. That can really bully him. There you go. There's the big AoE. Yeah, there's no man-eaters, just iron guts. Now, as you know, iron guts, they kind of suck. Comparatively, anyways. This cav unit will hopefully come back from terror routing. Let's see here. There we go. So there's his lead belcher crew dead. Come on, you can come back, boys. Come on. You got this. Let's see here. Okay, get a disengage. Gotta keep getting those charges in. Yo, another slow, man. Yo, this guy is just made out of slows, ain't he? How's the trading? Trading's not going that great. Good to know. Very good to know. I see, I see. I guess I do still have my heals working for me, but definitely not the best of starts. Okay, so we get a route on them Noblars, I guess. We get a catch on his birdies, I guess. Little frost worm taking a bit of damage, so now I'm gonna need some healing. Okay, there we go. I have a rampage I can use if need be. And I still have the captures on him. I think that's my one saving grace. Patriarch here will do good. There's another AoE to hit up his little Noblars. And then I can just regroup over here for the win. This Patriarch is gonna get a lot of work done, that's for sure. Mother Ostenkia just needs to be a little bit safe. Here we go. There's the fence. There's the heal. And he does have the capture point. Now, let's take a look at the situation. I got my Cav over here. And they should be able to charge him straight in the back. He doesn't have his big beastie. And it may even be a big route here. Right? You're seeing the leadership is starting to get a little low, right? Low leadership is good. Come on. We'll get a heal off. Okay, that's pretty good. That's a massive leadership hit. So then we kill Scraggy because he's alone. We kill off his saber tusks, right? And then with Scraggy dead, then the game is ours. Because then I can just route off his big old beast over here. And all I gotta do is recapture the points. But like this time around, we played it way smarter. I'm gonna slow him down. Just slow everything down. He'll be a lot less maneuverable. Scraggy's dead, I think. Okay, that's a big one. Let's see here. Heal and vigor. Nice. Nice. All right. So Ostenkia's probably gonna die to something or other. But we got the big spookies out of the way. Right? She just has to hide behind these guys. Heal herself. There you go. And then I can start capturing points. Woo! Come on, just gotta heal her. Okay, there we go. This is your Ostenkia heal. Thank goodness. Yo, that Scrag kill. The Scrag kill and then the leadership hit. See, this is a scary thing about Kislev. You might think that yes, you can counter one of their builds, but can you counter all of their builds? Presumably not. Hopefully. Presumably not, hopefully. There you go. There's a bunch of terror routes. So that bad boy's going down. Let's get one of these down. That should get a good amount of damage and lower his leadership, mind you. Then we get the big Vor, and that should just be a mass route. Right? He's about to lose basically everything in that little blob because Ostenkia was casting and -8 leadership here. Come on, that's gotta do it. That's gotta do it. There you go, the mass routes. Let's go. Ogre Kingdoms are no match for the power of Kislev on a big map. Woo! We had a Thunder Tusk too. Yeah, so the thing is, he bought the Thunder Tusk because he was worried about a big ol' wide Kislev build. But the moment you do that, you can get picked apart pretty bad. The Iron Guts were way worse than the Ogre Bulls and the Man Eaters because of leadership. Ooh, there's some forbidden tech, dude. The Ostenkia leadership hit. Truly the best tech in the world. That's Kislev versus Ogre Kingdoms. If you went the same build again, I would have lost. So it's very nice. We beat Sipa with Kislev into Ogre Kingdoms. Amazing. Grandma's coming in with the mustard. Dude, how much value did she get? 2,000! She got 2,000 value somehow. I don't even know what you did. Yeah, all the single entities did. Yo, it's actually kind of weird because her spells don't do that much damage. It means that her fighting prowess is actually really good. Yeah, he did have a second Iron Blaster, but it's a bit too risky to take. He did have the Man Eaters, a little too risky. His Saber Tusks and Trappers are really bad. I think he totally could have just bought a slightly different build and we would have been screwed. But at least in this case, the Insta-Scrag Snipe was what did it for us. It was a very quick Scrag Snipe. Thank goodness his Thunder Tusk was out of position because of, excuse me, our skirmishers. Yeah, and she got even more value with heals. Mother Ostenkia actually OP. Oh god. How'd my skirmishers do? Pretty good. Yeah, I like the skirmishers versus trappers. A lot of range. Such a weird build, man. I didn't even get the infantry on the battlefield. I literally just won with whatever this is. No little Grom or anything. A Patriarch heal is really clutch. Yeah, Patriarch is what makes the build tick. Lore of Hags, OP confirmed. Let's see here. Outer Region should be streaming, right? Warhammer 3. Warhammer Total War. Warhammer Total War. Where is he? Outer. Is he purely a YouTube streamer? Outer Region? Outer Region. War. Total War. Let's see here. It shows he is live. Alright, yeah. Yeah, he's casting Puggington versus the Demons. Yo, Demons of Chaos are straight up triple capped by Dark Elves right now. How embarrassing, man. And people said their Seekers would be OP. You guys know. Demons of Chaos suck. Give them the Seekers. Give them the Pavane. Who cares? They'll die. It's Oishi-kun too, by the way. Like, literally the #1 player. Imagine the #1 player down to Dark Elves. Wow. Wow, yeah, I don't think we got to restrict these poor guys, you know? That's pretty sad. That's a tragedy right there. Tragedy and a half. Dude, yo, Demons of Chaos. Oh my god, no. Dude, he has 6,000 value to 12,000. It's a joke, man. You can give him 5 Thunder Tusks. He'll still manage to lose, I guess. Yo, why do Demons of Chaos suck? Did he bring Pavane? He has Pavane. He straight up brought Pavane, but yeah. God dang. Yo, that's jokes. Oishi's a #1 sweat lord too. Like, Oishi likes to play some weaker factions. But like, if you have Pavane and Seekers and you're still losing, I think it's the faction holding you back. The thing is, you just don't have to bring any armor piercing. He's straight up triple capped. He's like in his spawn zone, man. Most opponents will not be familiar with Lore of the Hag. You know, I would say that usually you don't want to play around your opponent being bad. But the Lore of the Hags is actually so garbage that, like, I didn't even know what it did until I was forced to take it. I would expect many opponents, even in the highest tiers, would not know what to do about it. Who's running the Druchii? Reginald Puggington. Like, Puggington's good, but he's not like a top 1 player, you know? And he's not playing a top 1 faction either. Yeah. I think Demons of Chaos are going to be really strong versus some factions with their Pavane spam. But I don't think I have to restrict them. Basically, my rules for restricting factions more is if a top player runs them, are they guaranteed to win the tournament? If they can, then I gotta restrict the faction. In this case, though, Oishi's a top tier player. He does not get a guaranteed win for playing Demons of Chaos. Rakar? The guy bought Rakar. That's crazy. So we bought Scourge Runner Chariots? Okay. It's Druchii. It's Druchii? It's not Juchi? I guess that makes sense. Druchii. Is that what they've been saying the whole time? I've just been mishearing them. Yo, that's crazy. Alright, so we're up against Reginald Puggington. We have defeated the ogres. It only took me 2 tries. And now, if we could defeat the Druchii, we shall prevail. That's a Dark Elf player you just played? Yo, is he like crushing it with Dark Elves right now? Pug is a legend. Alright, I'll be careful. We shall not underestimate our opponent. Ostankia's ready. So here's the thing. My build is going to be naturally way worse to kite. He could just skirmish me to death and it'd be totally over. So that's kind of the big dealio that I gotta worry about, right? As long as we don't let him do that, I'll be okay. Who's top bracket? He's top bracket. I'm top bracket. Oh God. All right. So what are we playing on? Lustrian Narrows. Lustrian Narrows is a pretty funny map. Lots of trees. Imperial Road is a funny map. Very big. You can play super defensively here with the Dark Elves. Don't really know how I feel about that one. Could go for the Itza. Itza for Dark Elves might actually be okay for us. So like Lustrian Narrows, oh God. Okay, wait, let's see here. So if he goes, Lustrian Narrows I think is also good. Does that mean I'm banning Imperial Road? That's crazy. Ban Imp Road. You know what? Sure, why not? I'll ban Imperial Road. So it's either Itza or Lustrian Narrows. Both maps are kind of uncomfortable for a lot of ranged armies. Itza's quite tight, so units can run off pretty quickly too if you're not careful. Dark Elves Druki is 2 eyes. It's 2 eyes, really? Bear Launcher is real. Get the Bear Launcher, yeah. He bans Itza. Which means we're on Lustrian Narrows. Big ol' fun map. Kind of hard to maneuver on. So that should be quite nice for us. You want to see 1,000,000 infantry? Yeah, I would be down to play Kislev again, but only gun spam. I would love to do 12 gun builds as Kislev after this. After spamming single entities. But pretty jokes. Yo, Malediction Madness is actually pretty good here. The Malediction. Malediction or Madness. Interesting. So what do I have money for? I have money for these guys. Is that useful for me? Probably not. I might as well get them though, because they slot in just fine. So I gotta remember, if he's Soul Stealers, my single entities, I can get 20% spell resist. That part's pretty jokes. Dark Elves have a hard time. They have a really hard time winning against cavalry. Cav charges are pretty brutal versus them. Let's see here. Don't forget the bear spell. Yeah, the bear spell is really good versus their ranged. But like, what other playstyles do they have? They can go flyers, I guess. Flying skirmish builds. That'd be pretty crazy. Okay, really though, right? So my cav dominate his cav. Couple cold one knights are not going to be able to stop me. At least I think so. Who knows? Maybe I'm totally wrong and he's just gonna delete me off the face of the planet. But very likely he does not have the juice for that. Bolt throwers are garbage. And if he spams infantry, I doubt they're going to be much. I doubt they're gonna do much either. So is this just like an easy win? Because like I could basically play this like Betonia if I really wanted to. It's like a janky Betonia. Betonia does well against Dark Elves, I think. Reginald Poggington. He's apparently a little bit of a menace. I haven't seen him in a lot of my tournaments, but if he made it to finals and he beat Oishi's Demons of Chaos, he's got to be good. So let's take a look-see. Malice Cav Deathcaster. I guess it's not that bad though. Is this the build? Is this good enough? What if he gets like Fate of Buna on Macav and then they all die? I don't know. you got this beat up. Reginald, you got this beat up? Are you wait, what do you mean by that? Is that good for me or good for him? It's hard to tell. You know what? This build's probably good enough. I really don't see much you can do. Is there something you can do? Nah, we'll be fine. I got shenanigans. All right, I'll be back in a second. Should be good though. Here we go. The plus 20% missile resist on monsters is too good, to be honest, plus healing. Yeah, the only thing holding a Stankia back is that you have the lore of hags, which is kind of janky. Kind of janky. Like this build, imagine this build with like lore of life magic. It would be so OP if you could just spam healing and regrowths. The hags is like, there's a handful of abilities that are good enough. They're good enough. The speed boost is kind of jokes, but like, I don't know if it's actually like the best thing ever. The vigor buff like is really hard to miss though, so. Does feel really janky that her unique selling point, best lore of hags caster, is her least good trait. You know, at least her item's pretty hype. The crown of claws, 20% missile resist. That's pretty cool. But yeah, we're playing on Lustrian Narrows. This map's pretty jokes because there's trees everywhere, so you probably won't be able to shoot me up very hard. And we can use our forbidden fens. We can use the fens to go right through the forest without being slowed down. Why do you put up the blocker when everyone knows it's the same build? It's because sometimes your opponent is going to mind game themselves. And there's actually a couple tech pieces that are important here. Let's see, I'm just getting messaged. Alrighty. It's the same build, who would have guessed? So the idea is simple. Very, very simple. You just kill him. Mad Lad has 10 units. Kind of sus. Why does he have 10 units? What is he possibly crafting to only have 10 units? You think he brought like a triple Hydra build? You know, Hydra Charybdis? I brought my rampage, by the way, in case he's gonna kite me. 100-meter range is not that much, but it's far enough to catch basically anything that tries to get you. Probably 4 Scourge Runners. The Chill of Sontar. Okay. So he's Sontaring me. There's 1 Scourge Runner chariot. They have a range of 150. I do have my missile resist. He brought Ricard. Okay. So the plan is simple. Don't die to the Scourge Runners. I gotta be very, very wary around that bad boy. There's a lot of Cav and Flock of Doom. Okay. Is he gonna fall for the rampage though? That's basically a free win, right? I got some Cav over here. So he's playing for like possible point captures. He can only do so much with these guys though. If he goes through this point, I got Cav summons I can whip out. I do outrange him slightly. That part's pretty jokes. Can I rampage him? He's trying to escape. Okay, let's see if this works. Oh, it got canceled. What a ripoff. Alright. Yo, can I just kill the Chill of Sontar, though? It is just the Chill of Sontar. As silly as that sounds, like, it actually isn't that bad of a snipeable target when I have, like, this many guys. I just gotta run them down, right? Get the Patriarch in there. Get all my boys in. Yeah, I have like way more single entities in them. So it should actually just die, right? It's kind of splitting its damage too. If I get it to route, it's basically over this match. It's getting chunked real bad, I must say. It's getting chunked extraordinarily bad. There is a big Cav charge. Then we charge it in the back. Yeah, I'm just pulling the trigger, man. I'm just pulling the trigger. Chill of Sontar is, looks like it's barely going to hold, but it's definitely getting a little sus HP-wise. There you go, and then it routes. Sick. All right. Well, that's basically his main unit shattered. That was his deal. Without it now, he has basically nothing. It's just fully shattered. And I got a Patriarch heal. It's just over. Yeah. You know, I was a little worried about the Chill of Sontar at first until I realized that that it was dead. Turns out it's just dead. Even with the Ricard buffs. It is not enough to deal with the brutalization. That is the the Kislev ultimate doom stack. Okay, yeah, it's basically over now. There's like nothing left you can really do. Ricard is getting bullied. Wondrous. Ostankia can deal with that now. We'll have cooldowns in but a second. Whoop. Got a little charge, sadly. But yeah, his Cav is just dead now. I can actually slow them down with the Fens, just to make sure that they can't come back. Patriarch heal will be here soon. Yeah, that's a pretty nasty. That's a pretty nasty slow. Yo, the Fens. I can't believe it. The Fens is OP. There's another massive heal. CA should really limit that to 4 targets. Behold, the power of right-clicking. Yeah, his skirmishers just really weren't able to cook, were they? That was about as disgusting as can be. Like, I just took him. I just took the fight that he wanted me to take. You know, Ricard on that big old Hydra. But like, I got so much strength in single entities. He was never really gonna be able to deal with it. Plus the missile resist is cooking. How much value do these things have? Didn't even pay for themselves. Brutal. Yeah, they they can't stop me. Hit him with the fens. Hit him with the forbidden fens. Oh crap, he got charge on me. A little painful there. But yeah, the forbidden fens is gonna slow them down real bad. Let's see, I guess I'm just saving up for my cav here. For big old cav charge. There we go. So there goes one of his thingamajigs. Go-kart should go down. Does have a couple dark riders. I gotta make sure I don't throw here. There is a chance that we manage to throw. Because, like, Rakarth is technically still alive. Okay, we killed one of his chariots. That's good. His Dark Riders are dying over there. This is going okay. He did get a pretty nasty charge on me. Once his mobility is dead, though, I think we still win off of the Patriarch and the heals. Like, the problem is I just have most of my money in these units. But he can't actually win a cav fight, right? Presumably? I don't know. Maybe he still pulls us back. So let's just resecure the home point first. He did actually get a pretty nice engagement here. So yeah, we will actually have to play a little careful. We're gonna hit him with the fens. That is a cold one rider cav unit. That should now be dead. Hit him with the slow just to really get him bogged down. So that's minus like a million speed. And there's the catch. So they are absolutely dead. And then I can just play around this one capture point. That's all we really got to do. We got a couple horse archers here. I will say he's playing very well. The catch, though, is going to be good. So yeah, he's just trying to play off of points now with his mobility. I got to make sure his cold one cav don't like come over here and give me a hard time. Definitely I'll be able to shove him off of this point really easily. But yeah, we got to shut down this triple cap. Get another Griffin Legion here. Then I should be more or less okay. We have Mother Stankia here. There goes his chariots. Do I have more magic? I do, so I can Omega speed amp myself. Desummoning the chariots kind of will make him lose a lot of capture weight. I could hit him with the fens again. The fens are kind of jokes. The forbidden fens. Maybe we'll hit him with the bear squad. Yeah, so he's getting slowed down. He sent some cav in there. I think we do win on a double cap. So I don't think I have to really overextend. Because that could potentially lead to a misplay that loses us the game. It should be pretty chill, I think. What are those? Dark Riders? Cold One Knights. Okay. So yeah, I'll just send one of my Frost Worms here. Get a cav summon off. And I know the Frost Worms will be fine at fighting this. The chariots are not a big deal. It's just making sure that I split my forces up properly. That'll do it. So he has a couple Cold One Knights, but yeah, I got a very nasty cav charge coming in. Potentially even a Rakarth pick. He's using his Furies here to try and manage the situation just a little bit. But shall it be enough? My Frost Worm has a slowing effect. Stankia has a little bit extra poison there. Okay, I should just be able to charge Dark Riders. It's not a huge deal. Dark Riders lose versus the Griffin Legion, that's for sure. Stankia is doing fine in the grind. Look at that Frost Worm. He's cooking hard. Lots of routes over here. Lots of routes. Looks like he will probably be able to secure the point, but not a big deal. Yeah, the Frost Worm's just bullying his Cold One Knights. So I should be A-okay. Barring like a random Mother Stankia kill or something. That should be a pretty good spell cast. For his Harpies. I just gotta get Stankia out of there and then we're good to go. Dark Riders, interesting. But yeah, he lost that cat fight real bad. I will say though, he's pulling it back exceptionally well considering the circumstances. He's actually been tussling fairly strongly. It's still definitely not going to go his way because I have so many single entities, but an accidental throw potentially could have killed me if I was a little less careful. We still win on a double cap, by the way. A couple cold one nights. I'll fight him with my sick cav in the forest. It's not the best of trades, but it shall be good enough. Dang, it actually is going fairly well for them. So I do have that capture point. I can now get my cav in here. And I can finally kill off a cart. Hell yeah. I've been waiting for this moment. Yeah, Frost Worm's bullying him. So he does get a cav summon in here, but I have some Griffin Legion nearby. That should be no issue. Ostankia can have the honors of killing off a cart. Just a couple Dark Riders. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And then I can do the Forbidden Tech. So look at this. If I overcast Forbidden Fens, all my units here get Strider. So you see that Strider? They're completely unhindered by the forest, which means that they delete his cavalry now. Yeah, so it's just going for a big old Dark Rider capture in the back. That's okay, because I'm going to triple cap him. There goes all of those guys. And yeah, he's trying to play for capture points, but the early lead was too good. He's definitely a spooky player though. You know, he actually tussled it out pretty hard despite that early killing. But it was not enough, and that is the grand finals, just like that. Wow. Very strong Dark Elf play. That was some very strong Dark Elf play, but yeah, I had healing. He didn't have any healing. Dude, that Hydra kill. 500 value on the Chill of Sontar. GG, well played. This build is disgusting in the right circumstances. 2,800, 1,900, and 1,500 on those. Skirmish Cav was probably the weakest part. How did his chariots do? So his chariots got okay value despite everything. If I hadn't made that jump and we played slow, maybe the chariots would have crushed it. But yeah, no, it's over. It's straight up over. Mission complete. Actually, one of the easiest challenges ever. Win with Mother Ostankia. What's the next faction / theme? I don't know. What even is there to complete? I won with the Lore of Hags. To actually just win with the Lore of Hags, honestly, the Frostworm's kind of carried. Another win for the meta abuser. I am the meta. Yo, that was sick. I can't believe it. We won with Kislev against ogres too. Sotek's challenge has been beaten. I'll message him. Finish your Lore of Hags challenge. This build is actually OP. I'll send him a picture of it. It's actually a really good build. There you go. Oh man. You might need to increase the number of tournament wins. Wait, why? Why? What's up? Let's see here. Oh, Reginald needs to report his score. Can you report your win for the semis, by the way? Thanks. Subutai. Subutai is hosting a tournament. Ooh. There we go. Where is the suffering? Yeah, how do we increase the suffering? Just saying, Lord Croak is also underused. You know what I should do? Hey, Karavdir. Are you still here, Karavdir? I want to play a show match against him. Because he said that he had a build against us. Against this style. That might work. I want to see it. If you win it, that would be sick. Nice. Yo, does that secure my second place on the leaderboard? Did Charks get a win anytime soon? Dang, Charks is 8 wins and I'm at 8 wins. I'm slowly creeping up onto Oishi though. My win percentage has gone to 70%, up from 69. Rip. Yo, Charks and Oishi at 75 and 77% though is crazy. Crazy. I guess no, they did play Bretonia. Crap. No. Next is Dowie. Yeah, what's the next faction? We gotta figure that out. That was actually kind of anticlimactic. I just kind of dumpstered them. This build is insane. There's Gunline Kislev. Okay, let's see here. Let's take a look. What are these suggestions? So there's Dowie. There's Gunline. Kislev. There's Chaos. Dowie. You guys want to see a Chaos Dowie game? Aren't they like really good? Corn. Considering you're often playing weird meme challenges. Well, Oishi played Norska for a bit, so I think that put him back. Corn Blood Speaker. All right, here. I'll do a poll. So Dowie, Corn. I don't know if Karavdir is still in. He might have had to leave. Dowie, Corn, Chaos, or Chowie, or what else? Goblins only greenskins, back to greenskins. Warriors of Chaos is the ultimate cooking faction. Zinch next. Oh god, Zinch. Alright, I'll do that one for you, Twitch chat. So Zinch is the lowest win rate faction right now on all of Total Tavern by a long shot. They're rocking a 36% win rate. High Elves have 2% over them. It's kind of disgusting. But let's see it. A lot of people are looking at Chaos Dwarves. Chaos Dwarves are real interesting. I haven't touched them at all yet. "32% Zinch all of a sudden." I think it might be like Zinch and then Chaos Dwarves next. Yo, Zinch though? Okay, so here's Zinch. Zinch has the shenanigans with the Changeling. I feel like Green Knight Changeling is jokes. Trains are really fun. I would like to play Chaos Dwarves eventually. But like Zinch is kind of weak across the board. It's very close. Okay, I'll end the poll. We'll do Zinch versus Chaos Dwarves because we don't do first past the post here. And then if it's close, we'll get Twitch chat involved. But let's see it. What's it gonna be? Yeah, I can't believe... Yo, I beat Sotek's challenge way faster than Turin's challenge, man. Sotek's challenge was pretty chill. Alright. Your vote matters. Tretch Changeling. Yo, how cheap is Tretch Changeling? Tretch. 1,400? Good God, what does he even have? He has, God. The double meme. That's what... The Changeling is the best for the memes. He has standard die. That's kind of cool. Ooh, it's close. It's very close. I guess we're polling Twitch then. /poll. Who next? Question mark. Zinch or Chaos Dwarves? You got 1 minute to put your vote in. Can you sway it? Do the Chaos Dwarves actually have cooking though? Can they cook? Chaos Dwarves have what? I don't think their gun builds are good. I think their Bull Centaurs have a lot of capabilities. I think Iron Demon is pretty jokes. Wolfheart Net and Wolfheart Oil Bomb. Yo, do that with Zinch for the weakness to fire hype. Ooh, it's so close. It's so close. Twitch loves Zinch, though. Twitch adds an extra 15 votes for Zinch. God dang. Yo. Okay, wait. I think Twitch actually turns the tide. Because it's 48% Zinch with 64 votes. On Twitch, it's 15 Zinch, only 3 for Chaos Dwarfs. I can't believe it. YouTube, you got beat. You got beat. Yo, that's a really close vote, though. So next up, I'm gonna play Zinch and then Chaos Dwarfs. Changeling time. Yo, what's the biggest cooking we can do? Twitch has people lobbying both streams. Not fair. Yo, mega rigged. I'm sorry, YouTube, but you just couldn't form enough of a consensus. I lobbied both streams. Staunch. Oh, it was pretty one-sided though. That's a lot of extra votes. All right, yo, let's see what Zinch shenanigans we can get ourselves into, and then I'll call it a day so I can get some editing done. I have a lot of games. Win with Zaytan the Black. We can do Chaos Dwarves and Zinch. I'll play Zaytan the Black as Zinch. Trains are okay, monstrous infantry are decent, Bale Taurus are god tier. Is there like a sick double Bale Taurus build? Changeling into Gyros. Changeling into Changeling. Can you do that? Dude, the Kislev win though. Man, that was so fast. The Kislev win was like disgustingly easy, man. Lore of Hags actually goated. Was this last game finals or semis? It was finals. Yeah. So that Dark Elf player took out the Demons of Chaos. Somehow. I don't know what they did, but he just absolutely deleted them. Changeling to a Lithanar. That's pretty bad. A Lithanar is pretty garbage, yeah. Oh crap, I have the mod on. Whoopsie daisies. Changeling Kugath. Is there any way you can make the Changeling Green Knight work? That's like the dream play. But I don't know if it does it though. Cause like, is Changeling Green Knight, is Green Knight without healing, is he just gonna suck? Like Green Knight's pretty good, 1700, like he's a solid guy. But I don't know. I need a workshop like a mega build. We gotta push this meta. Then I just have to not throw him. Maybe you pick Green Knight, but you play super safe with them. Okay, here. So what if, right? So multiplayer rank matchmaking. What if Changeling Green Knight and then Blue Scribes RNG into the healing? The Omega play? Definitely not. I need like an actually good build if we're gonna win with this. What about Wolfheart? Wolfheart was pretty good. The thing is, I need like a good caster. I need a really good caster to make this work. Okay, so let's say we're playing Zinch. Obviously, we gotta go Changeling Green Knight. That much is clear. He's Nurgle. Okay. So Changeling Green Knight is solid, but like, what do we need after that? Single entities, technically, are pretty bad at diving us. God dang it, man. I guess it was Zinch into Nurgle. That is leave worthy. Exalted Flamers, maybe? Maybe some sick Exalted Flamers. I missed the finals. Did you win? Yeah, we crushed it. We dominated. The only game we lost was against Ogres, but my second game was really one-sided because I got Lord Snipe. I got my Lord killed against Khorne, and we still won. Today was like the easiest tournament win ever, man. Oh my gosh. Air Force and Changebringers sounds boring. I want to cook. Why am I playing Zinch if I'm not cooking, you know? Okay, take a look-see. So here's the Zinch. Changeling, Green Knight, Get rid of his abilities. Because they're all useless. And then what if, hear me out, what if we go for a mass range build? If you think about it. If you think really long and hard about it, you can take a lot of pinks and blues. And you know what else people love? They love Kindle Flame. So what if I spam the Kindle Flame? God, it's only 15 seconds. Let's see here. So what if we spam the Kindle Flame on a War Shrine? War Shrine's never gonna get stacked up. Maybe if I keep it with the blues. It's not like you can kill it though, right? So we put him on the War Shrine. And we get the, we spam the cheap spells, Screw Flaming Sword and Burning Head. Yeah, okay, you know what? Put him on a horse. Blazing Squealers. We'll get the Blazing Squealers. You know what? Screw Cascading Fire Cloak. That one's also pretty bad. The Gate of Tzeentch, I guess. Am I just stacking this guy? Is that what we're doing? Oh god, I don't know where this is going, man. Oh wait, you know I can do this, and you know what? Get rid of the fireball. Screw the fireball. It's just range spam, okay? You guys wanted to see mass range builds. These guys are pretty good because they don't run into the usual issues. They got arcing shots. The Green Knight can kill all the single entities. Man, why do I have so few units though? Is it just me, or is this range spam build like kind of expensive compared to the other ones? The Chad Shrine though. Shrine's pretty Chad. You know what? You know what? You gotta go big or go home, right? Okay, you know what? Chad Shrine. There you go. For you, chat, anything. So there's the Chad Shrine. You know what? Screw the actually the Gate of Tzeentch is an extra range unit. Gotta take that. There you go. You know, I can take the blazing. I can take the ROR blue. There you go. Okay. So now we have a ranged max build. It's all pinks. I got the fire damage. I got the Green Knight. Every time I cast Burning Head, we'll do a lot more damage. And in a ranged build, you want a cleanup crew. What better cleanup crew than the Centaurs of Tzeentch, am I right? And a couple Furies. There you go. This is the build. Up against Red Boy. I should save this one. Yo, this already feels way worse than the Kislev build. This feels terrible. Changebringers? Nah, I have too many range units. You can only take 12. This build needs max soul grinders. Yo, I don't know how you're supposed to play Tzeentch. What's the, I guess most people go for like Lord Snipe shenanigans with the soul grinder and blue fire. Can't you just like hide in the tree though? He's Kislev. Oh god, imagine he goes my build. What if he goes my build and then we die? Doom Knights. Yo, Doom Knight sucks so hard. Alright, so let's just see it. Let's just see it. Chariots for days. Heavy war sleds can't beat this. Yeah, the soul grinder is okay at sniping single entities. Okay, odds of victory here are mild. I haven't played a lot of Tzeentch in general, so don't really know what I'm doing exactly, but we'll have the Green Knight. We'll have the Gate of Tzeentch. Sour Guts OP. No Sour Guts. I don't think he's gonna be... If he jumps my range, he has too many options, right? Gotta... Getting beat by a degenerate single entity build is poetic justice. It's a really degenerate build. I'm surprised it hasn't been used more. It's basically a free win. It's a disgusting build though. Like, definitely in Turn's tournament, I'm just gonna whip it out. Ice Guard. Magic damage. Oh god. Alright, so it's just quantity of fire that's gonna win it for us today. If I just have enough guys shooting him at the same time. Ain't no problem, right? And I got the Green Knight in here now. He comes with the Dolorous Blade. If he gets shot by these guys, it's super over. Tzeentch War Shrine, unlimited wins, yeah. It, Spell Mastery, Power Recharge, and Power Reserves. 0.15 is actually a lot. Getting it stacked up, though, is the hard part. Look at this guy. Yo, I hate this map, man. This map's so janky. Alright, here's the play. I'm just gonna roll on in and just shoot him to death. I got way too many range units here, right? What's he gonna do? Run away from me? No way he's gonna do that. And then I can sick him with the big burning head. Chaos Warrior brick with Village. Yo, Village is so cool. It's too bad he's not that good of a fighter. I feel like he really does deserve to be a much stronger fighter than he is. Your summoned unit? They do actually count, yes. So there is potential there for me to get the summoned pink and then let it die for infinite magic. Green Knight has a slowing effect, by the way, so he does slow the horse archers, I guess. Another one. Another pink. Village to get bonus versus infantry would be cool. Is that... He just slowed me. Okay. That's fine, I guess. Get him, Green Knight. Beat him up. What is that? Is that a Heart of Winter? Oh, God. I think it was a Heart of Winter. Well, that's just a waste. Yeah, unfortunately, unfortunately, that's not how that works, man. You can't just double slow like that. What are you doing? Does get a pretty nice AoE there, though. He does have his sleds coming on in, huh? Here we go. We're gonna shoot him up. Can I get a bounce off this back wall? The back wall bounce is the best meta. Get a pretty nice cleaving shot on those ice guard. Ooh, the summon across the wall. Wait, give it to me. Is that gonna work? Come on. Oh, the rebound. The sick rebound. Oh my gosh, the hidden tech on this map is insane. Wow, look at that. And then we got our pinks on him now. The forbidden tech. Okay, this guy's obviously a little bit newer. It's fine though. We'll just fool around. Yeah, can I charge this? Can I charge my thing with the summon? What's the range on this? 35 meters. So they gotta be pretty close, sadly, for it to work. His range units have a hard time shooting the Green Knight because such is life. But will he die? Appears not. All right, come on, pinks. They just got to be close enough here. They just got to be close enough to disintegrate in the vicinity of this dude. It's another great burning head. What was that? I could have sworn I cast that properly. Apparently we goofed it. Katerin versus the Green Knight. Amazing fight. And boop. We'll just boop her. Alrighty. We kill his ice guard. I got Furies over here. They're cooking. Did it charge? Hell yeah, it charged. It only charged 1% though. That's kind of a ripoff. It does take forever to charge. If there's some way, like, if Tzeentch had the access to Skaven slaves, oh my god, he'd be insane. Day 8 million of asking CA for a proper ladder. Yo, if they could definitely make ladder way better with just a handful of changes. Mostly, I think like matchmaking is a big thing. Although, like, I don't know, maybe there's not enough players for good enough matchmaking. But you know, maybe like some sort of ELO representation. I don't know. At the very least, they could add better maps, though. The maps are kind of janky. We need more of the good Total Tavern maps to make this work. Dang, Green Knight, look at that. He wins versus Caterin, hell yeah. Like having actual MMR so you don't keep running into Egg Special. Dude, that's brutal, man. Egg Special's insane. Hard to have good matchmaking with 50 players, yeah. I think queue times would be pretty enormous. It'd be nice if CE could like promote multiplayer a bit more, but like I don't think they have the bandwidth for it. Did the Green Knight just die? Did he just die? Oh god, okay. A little unfortunate indeed. Maybe would it work if they do the thing that StarCraft does, where you have a tournament, like you have automated tournaments basically? So like every, you know, 1 hour, it'll be like, hey, you know, everyone can sign up, and then it'll just queue you against people with like the same number of tournament wins. That way you don't need like the full ladder shenanigans. It's chicken and egg problem. Yeah. Yeah, most definitely. Dude, the mass summons. Oh, look at the Zargard crushing it. He's pretty dead though, right? And I'm not talking about the Green Knight. I wonder if I can summon him back, perhaps. Value trading wise, we're doing good. I got 1 million tickets. Let the Zinch Tide commence. Oh, he brought the Frozen Heart of Winter. No wonder he's behind. Yo, okay, this guy. Yeah, this guy's just a new dude. He's just a new dude. Co-op. Technically, they have a little bit of co-op. I guess like full co-op against AI would be interesting. No, that would be an interesting game mode actually to get people into multiplayer more. Yeah, this thing's terrible against blues and pinks, man. He brought the worst unit possible for blues and pinks. It has no missile resist. All 25% of its physical resist is gone. Not too much armor either. Oh, what a tragedy, man. I just killed his cool unit. Well, oh, it's not even unbreakable. What the crap? Yo, that's crazy. Yeah, I don't think this is like the de facto Zinch build though. I don't feel that good about this one. A tiny bit problematic indeed. Lots of shooty. But yeah, I don't know how they do it. I'm no like you know, I'm no multiplayer hosting god or anything. I don't really know how to like get it working. But you know, I'm sure hosting tournaments is a good time. Or working gates. I would take working gates over well, actually, okay, realistically, if I actually got to choose, I would rather have a good multiplayer ladder than working gates. Because they can just fix working gates later. But like, man, there's some single player stuff that needs a looking at too. Yeah, this guy's sticking with it though. You can get a 26% charge on the War Shrine with the summon. To tell me the guys are just too far away. I see. Kind of makes sense. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about Zinch. What is their class fantasy supposed to be? What is their strength with Zinch? So if you take a look at the Zinch, the fantasy is they're supposed to be the best at magic. The problem is that they only have access to 2 lores of magic. And their spellcasters are no better than any other spellcaster. You can spend 100 gold to have a spell do a little bit more value. And then that's basically it. Like, if you actually look at their spellcasters, they don't even have, like, they don't even have the extra, you know, mastery of the like they don't have like the they don't have any like spell mastery going on, right? They have Wand of Whimsy, which increases melee attack. You know, they got Barrier, I guess, but that's not too cool. Their shooting is really lackluster. I feel like 60% is not little on Overcast Final Transmutation. Overcast Final Transmutation, you could split against it. You can split against it. This guy has, yeah, he doesn't even have Greater Arcane Conduit. So if you go for a Lord, it's not going to work. And the sad part is that these guys are also heroes. So if you're taking them as a hero, you're running like, I don't know, Village or something. You just straight running Village. And like, I don't know, it's like... So like, just take a look at this. Like, look at Tzeentch's spellcasting compared to Ikiclaw. Unlimited power. You get 160% power recharge. 0.2 reserves per second. That is insane. You can spam Flinching Ruin 24/7, right? I think it's very hard to argue that Tzeentch has better spell casting than Skaven. Because Skaven can just spam it, man. They can just go ham from the very beginning of the game. Tzeentch, you gotta get like an iridescent horror or something. What does he got? Locus of Change? He doesn't even have a spell amp. He doesn't even regenerate magic faster. It's kind of suck. Yeah, he got like some big chicken stuff. He has Greater Arcane Conduit. But that's it. So like, if you wanted to be like, I want to take Sartorial. Insane Bird Spellcaster. What does he have? Greater Arcane Conduit. And Searing Dooms. Searing Doom spam. Maybe Final Transmutation. I don't know. There's a little bit of melee stuff there. I feel like Tzeentch's Flamethrowers should be their big thing. I think their Flamethrowers should all be way better. So like Changebringers should be A tier. Well, they are, right? But like Flamers of Tzeentch should be as good as Changebringers. Exalted Flamers should be as good as Changebringers. And Tzeentch should just be able to melt infantry like no one's business. Burning Chariot. Used to be able to snipe single entities, not so much anymore. But yeah, make these guys really good. A Soul Grinder can be good against single entities. And then, you know, then you have a starter, right? Anyone with a little bit of anti-air can kill Changebringers. So they need a ground version with that's a little bit harder to snipe. You can go normal Lord of Tzeentch. He has, you know, Tzeentch has a lot of anti-large. He can reveal units, I guess. So bombardment. I'll figure it out though. Maybe the way to go with Tzeentch is like their Chaos Chariots. The Chaos Chariots have shield, so they won't take that much damage on cycle charging. You can also, let's see here. I think maybe there's like some sick plays with the Exalted Heroes. So you take them on Chariots. I miss when Tzeentch had healing, man. Take them on Chariots, and I have two big single entities. Yeah, these guys are sick. You can take Colossal Strike too if you really want them to be killy. But otherwise, they're great at clearing infantry as is. And then you go Changebringers. Or you take them on discs. But like, yeah, I think every single Tzeentch matchup relies on you getting Changebringers on the field and crushing it there. Flamers could get more speed. Either more speed or more damage. Yeah. In my meta report for Tzeentch, what did I say about them? Let me check. So I've been submitting meta reports to CA. Yeah, I've been submitting meta reports, so maybe we'll see some buffs if it doesn't impact land battle too much. Let's see here. I was like, hey, Chaos Knights get buffed, Doom Knights get buffed, normal Flamers could get buffed, Cockroaches can get buffed. Just like across the board. I think Tzeentch has so many bad units and a fairly limited roster. Anyone know if you can make Chosen work? So an Armored Rush usually needs at least some cav, I think. Yeah, I think like probably the best thing to do is to go for like Furies or something. I don't know. Skaven, the downside was always the range of their casting. Do they have poor range in Immortal Empires? Skaven have a lot of mobile. They have a few mobile lords. If you're playing Skaven, they're casting. Warp Lightning's your spell, man. 200 range. Am I able to show the meta reports, or are they confidential? I feel like it would go pretty big on the balance discussion, and by discussion I mean arguing. So my idea with the meta reports, to make sure that it doesn't just get bogged down in like the back and forth, is like I submit my meta report and then other people submit theirs. So like, you know, Human Boy can like talk about land battle and stuff. But like, yeah, like I could get a discussion channel, but then like it's just a lot more adminning. What I usually put in though is like I tell them what the community is saying. So I could make a meta report discussion channel for people to talk about. Possibly, but usually I just kind of pay attention to what chat says. Like one of the things I said, I can talk a little bit about it, is like I'm like, hey, you know what? Everyone loves Greasus. Just buff Greasus, man. So like a lot of the stuff is like the cool stuff instead of like fine tuning. We love an argument. This is YouTube after all. I don't love arguments. It's way too cyclical. It goes nowhere. If Village could have a chariot, say what? But yeah, you know, I'm like, hey, here's some lords that never see play. So like, I tried to give meta reports on things that are like absolutely, definitely could use buffs. So I'm like, Greasus, people love him. Orion, people love him. He could use buffs, right? I'm like, I don't know. Korn actually sees pretty good representation. I'm like, Alithanar, he could use buffs. People love him. You know, maybe like Tyrion and Imric and Teclis, you know. I think you could see some minor buffs, so I want the big wins, you know. Like Belagar, who's running Belagar nowadays, right? I'm like, people love the introduction of this Kislev Lord, the Adaman. But like, he sucks. Make him cool. People are really talking him up. I'm people and I hate Orion. Dang it. God dang it. Yeah, Imric used to be everywhere. But yeah, just like some real like no-brainer buffs. That's usually and then like I tell them like what I try to tell them what I see in the community. So I'm like, oh, people are banning Slanesh nowadays. People are restricting Arrows of Kurnos to only one cast. And generally people say that it's really strong. You know, I give them the stats of Total Tavern, that kind of stuff. Wait, the Adamant has Skirmish. He does have a ranged attack, doesn't he? Compared to the Boyar. The Adamant has, yeah. He has a ranged attack. He has a gun. He has the power of bullets. Yeah, cockroaches could definitely get some buffs and more uses. That would be really cool. That was a big one. Mutalith Vortex Beasts. I was like, dude, you could buff these guys. They could really use some love. Yo, I should try Aeson the Fallen again. What if I what if I do a crappy version of the Kislev build? So double exalted hero, right? They're basically my frost worms if you think about it. Right? Then you get the Mutalith Vortex Beast. And then you have crap, you know, the lore of the hag sucked anyways, right? So what if you like, I don't know. So Mortis, I guess this is my Mortis, right? And then you go for like, you know, you go for Scarbrand, right? On the changeling, so then he can rampage. That's pretty cool. You know, Mother Ostankia. Mother Ostankia on the changeling, and then that way we have healing. Yo, what if there's like a janky healer? What's the cheapest healer I can get? You know, it is kind of jokes. All right, think about it. So Mother Ostankia, double exalted, right? The changeling. The problem is she's gonna cost 1,000 more gold than usual, but like, who knows? The speed difference is gonna be awkward. You know, there's 78 speed, 66 speed on this guy. This kind of jokes. Okay, wait. Let's just see. The thing is, I don't have like a leadership buster. I don't have a leadership buster that would work the same. But like, let's just do a test. So Dark Elves, triple Blackguard of Nagaron. We know the Kislev build just deletes this. I also don't have the cavalry summons. I guess I do have Centaurs of Tzeentch, so perfect vigor shielded. Okay, so what if I go Mother Ostankia? Right, she's gonna have access to all her spells. The only thing she doesn't have is the missile resist bonus, which I guess is important, but you know what, who cares? I can take the golden eye of Tzeentch for my missile resist. Okay, so I go for this. We have Aeson, which is way more expensive. Is there any other single entity? Oh god, alright, well. Tzeentch with the lore of the hags. Oh my gosh. Alright, there's no way this works, alright. The dreaded treason of Tzeentch tech. Having some spells might be worse. You have to remember which is the one that works. I can remember by the pictures. I've used the lore of the hags enough now. Soul grinder. Alright. So, unfortunately, he doesn't get her crown. But he does get everything else that Ostankia has to offer. So, I can Spirit War them, right? Spirit War is surely worth. Don't buff Tzeentch to one of the few good matchups for Petonia. Look, Mother Ostankia is hype, okay? Ever since they fixed the Chariot double hit. And then we do the Fens for the speed buff. 83 speed Aeson the Fallen. Look at him, he's spooting, right? And then, let's see, Colossal Strike. Yo, Mother Ostankia just makes everyone look good. Then we hit him with that debuff. Right? Or hit him with that spell. There you go. Charge right back on in. Aeson with the damage ability. Mother Ostankia with the perfect vigor. It's just like Kislev, but worse in every way. Hey, there you go. You know, it's man, if Ostankia had a better heal, that would actually be kind of sick. Ah, crap. The cops are after me. We cooked too hard. Still don't understand why the bear is swimming like a seal. It's because it is a seal. I think it actually legitimately is a seal. Anyways, this is not cooking, right? I think Ostankia's heal does not really help Aeson the Fallen very much. I do wonder though, is there like a rogue lord that's good with the changeling? Nakai doesn't have his vigor buff, right? Yeah, he doesn't have his vigor buff. Like, who's not ludicrously expensive? Belacor. Let's see here. I also need the mount. So Ariel does have a heal, doesn't she? She doesn't get her items. What a ripoff. They should totally just make it where you don't copy the spell casting of the Lord. You get to keep the lore of Tzeentch. Takes Surtha Ek. Surtha Ek? I don't think you can take Surtha Ek. Brag the Gutsman. Yeah, does any of these lords just have a heal in the back pocket? Gold has a great self-heal. It's kind of jokes. But like none of these really add much to the Zinch roster. Isabella has a self-heal, but she's spellcaster, so she's way too expensive. Malachi. I don't think I have anything I can heal with them. Kazrak, Faye has healing. But like, does the healing even help us though? It is really nice to have healing. Is there any magic? Is there any lore of magic where you want to take everything? Man, options are so limited. I could have sworn there's someone with a bound healing ability. Okay, if you take Consultant on foot, you get the flaming attacks. You also get Urson's ward. So if you look at normal Castalton, like I'm thinking when in doubt, single entities, right? So if you go normal Castalton, you take him on, like he has everything but the Brazier Mace of Urson in the mount. So he has all of these buffs. And he has healing. What's there not to love? So you take Castalton. Does Valkyrie account for healing? I don't think she has a heal. And then you can start patching up Aeson. Yeah, he has the vigor and the attack buffs. Downside is he's on foot. The changeling is not on foot though. So you can transform after you get into the fight, because the changeling has 50 speed, Consultant has 34. Changeling can kind of keep up. Yeah, you know, so you get into the fight with the changeling. You see what I'm talking about? You get into the fight with the changeling, and then you're good. Crap. I have no magic though. And then I have no magic, so I'd have to get rid of one of these guys. Get him, right? And then that Skull of Catan and Final Transmutation. You know, we could just go for a gross foot character meta. Okay, no, we put this guy in a chariot, right? We take this guy on foot with Final Transmutation. We'll just see what he's like on a steed. Aeson rolling on in, you know, Aeson can definitely cook. Festus is the premier healer, yeah. A little expensive, but yeah, you can take Festus. Festus is probably, well, a Consultant's at least relatively cheap at 1,100. Dragon healer. Let's just see real quick. All that. Yeah, Festus, Degenerate, Chosen Blob. I like my mobility though. So let's see here. So what if I transform into Consultant? I just have all the abilities, right? So we have Silax Lullaby, Battle Him, Taurus Battle Him, which is pretty cool. Man, he's slow. Yeah, he's definitely a slowpoke. Is there a way I can like jank Castalton forwards though? Can I like push him with my guys? I don't think that works. Yeah, he doesn't really get pushed too well. But you know, I can AoE heal. This is some of the best healing in the game. So I could do that. I could use Castalton as a temporary transformation to heal. Let's take a look at this, right? So if I transform, right? If I transform, I could use the changeling as just a normal spellcaster for a bit. And then when I transform back, surely I get my heals again. Because then I can have Castalton as just like a pocket for healing. So let's see. Changeling himself is not the worst. 5,000 HP, 50 melee defense. Oh god, he's getting slapped by Castalton though. But yeah, and then it's like, oh no, I'm taking damage. Transform again. No, it has the cooldowns do not go. That's terrible. Yo, everything about the changeling just doesn't work. Alright, you know, I could just try Exalted Hero shenanigans. I feel like the best Zinch build is the most boring one. So the best Zinch build is probably you run your Exalted Heroes. Right, so Exalted Hero and Green Knight is probably the best thing you could do. Where is he at? Yeah, so you run Exalted Hero, Green Knight. Then you get a dude as your spellcaster, right? And you just spam Final Transmutation with your Skull of Catan. Could even de-summon him for even more work getting done. And then you get the Skull of Catan back. Is it worth it? I have no idea. You'll get 500 gold for de-summoning him. You don't get the mount, or you just keep him on foot. And then you just go like a vanilla, just spawn Forsaken Rush, right? I think that's just all you can really do with like a million Marauders. You know, there's something to be said about Marauder Spawn. Marauder Spawn is a funny style because it's not that bad. Spawn reduce armor. Marauders do a lot of damage. Thoughts on Wand of Whimsy builds? I don't think it really does much most of the time. You can't spam spells in this game. Spellcasting is one of your biggest value gains. And if you're spamming spells, you're generally not going to get as much value on them as usual. At least I think that's what Wand of Whimsy was. Like buffed melee attack. But yeah, you know, Marauder, you know, Man-Tide. What if you just Man-Tide Siege? Has anyone tried just Marauder Spears as Zinch? I know the Zongors are really popular, so you can just Man-Tide with these guys. Okay, you know what? Play Zinch like you play Bretonia. So you get a bunch of Marauders and Zongors as a starter build. And then you have the Green Knight to kill single entities. Excuse me, it's kind of jokes. If you could actually select spells and abilities as a changeling, you would just like take... You would have so many options. It would be really cool, man. I feel like that alone would just make Zinch so interesting. Because it's like they have access to like 50 lords, man. Or like 100 or what have you. But yeah, this feels like it has maybe some potential. So you just have a bunch of infantry. You start summoning in spawn, and then you just roll them over. Marauders are not the strongest thing in the world, but they can tussle. Marauder spawn action is pretty nice. You know, it even settles out pretty well, money spending wise. Give Kairos his healing back. Yo, Kairos definitely deserves healing. I feel like it'd be way more interesting that, because you know, like Zinch is supposed to have access to a lot of magic, right? How's it going? We won. We won. We're trying to figure out what the Zinch meta is. Thinking maybe Man-Tide. Man-Tide with like, what's the range unit that we're gonna run? One Flamer. Can you defend a Flamer with the Man-Tide? It'd be pretty jokes if they didn't die to archers so hard. You just have one Flamer just picking things off. You know, it's, you know, a Man-Tide with a Flamer would be so interesting. They're just so squishy, man. Kairos should have access to all spells. Yeah, it's a UI problem though. Anyways, I think I'm good for today. I'm just gonna do a short stream today. We successfully beat Lore Master of Sotek's challenge, but I got some editing to do. I'm also a little tired. I didn't get that much sleep. So we'll call it for today. Tomorrow is going to be a Zinch day, followed by a Chaos Dwarf day. Finals were won. Kislev is OP with its single entities, it turns out. I'll get some videos going. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. See you guys tomorrow. Hope you had a fun time. Peace, peace.